Third time? What are you talking about? Second time at best. Drop it! Let's hear it. Thank you, I appreciate that. So I was like, I'm gonna go grab me some beers, something. I wanted something light, to just go through this because this was all just off the top of the gourd on the last live stream. All those items, I was just running through all of them. Like, these are why I think it's cool. You might think so. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so I bought. I saw a coffee stout. I'm a big fan of coffee stout. I got myself, a decently light IPA, but I was like, oh, Lagunitas, you're a friend of mine. You're always a friend. I didn't look at that. A nice little light coffee stout. So I was like halfway through the show, and I'm like, wait a second, what's going on? Yeah, I don't blame you for not drinking, but oh man, that was whoo, buddy. All right. Hey, welcome to the After Chat. This is the Hammer Radio Crash Course After Chat, where we try and answer your questions. That's literally the whole beginning of the show. We can't spend the whole show doing just questions because at some point, there's only so many people that are actually watching us at any one moment. So, man, Shane is going nuts right now in the, in the chat on the Comjot. We'll talk about the Comjot. We got questions on that, but, hey, all right, here we go. Anyway, so links are in the video description to our Discord. So our Discord is like a chat room. It's an IRC chat, if you will, of the new age. And you can use it to talk to us directly. So take the link, make an account, join us. And if you go to hashtag live-stream, that is our text chat. 2 down from that is hashtag live-stream /afterchat. And set up your microphone and your speakers. Hopefully it's headsets. Headsets work best. And then bind a PTT button. A lot of people use left control to be able to hold that down, just like you're on repeater, to PTT to talk. Because we got too many people to try and just have everybody screaming into the ether at the same time. Okay? Okay. Makes sense? Makes sense. And if there are questions, you can just post them in the chat, and I'll come back around to you, and we'll get them sorted out. All right. We are scrolling down here. All right. Got a good crew of people tonight. Let's go ahead and dive in and say hello to our friends.
Everything. I just have to get the hardware for it. Hello, Josh.
Bree.
Hey, Bree.
How's it going, everybody? How's it going?
It's going, Bree.
What's going on, Josh?
Oh, that was a good. I had fun on that last one. Just got to talk about some of my favorite things in amateur radios. Hopefully, you guys had fun with that. But how's everybody feeling tonight? How's everybody doing? Anybody do anything fun with radio? Like, we haven't asked that question to kick things off in a while. Anybody do any fun radio things today? Who wants to tell us? Go ahead. What'd you do? What'd you do today?
I repacked all my radios in a new bag.
Oh, what kind of bag? Now you're talking my language there, bud. What kind of bag did you? Tell me about the bag. Tell me slowly.
Well, Josh,
oh my God.
You guys need some alone time for God's sake.
Bags. I grabbed myself a Maxpedition Jumbo Versa Pack.
Okay,
and,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm dialed in. I'm dialed in.
Yep. So I actually put my my radios. I'm going to carry my FT5 with me on in a side pouch, got my signal stick, and my Quirky QRP Tiger Tail all hooked into the Molly system. I got one because they got to buy one, get one going on right now. Got one for work, and I got one for just packing around every day. So I'm going to swap the FT5 between both of them. The work one's going to go with me. It's going to have bento boxes in it for my lunch. And then the one that goes with me is got the boo-boo kit for the kids and just all the daily pack-out stuff for me. But I'm going to be EDCing my radio all the time now.
The VersaPack was one of my first bags that got me down the bag rabbit hole when I was working in a vault, and you couldn't have a lot of technology or any technology. So that was a perfect size bag because it was just form-fitting for just the stuff that I need to bring, notepads and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a great bag for QRP radios. That's great. And then a nice little boo-boo kit as well. I'll tell you what, having kids, particularly two boys, a proper first aid kit is no joke. And I cannot tell you, there's two things. The Nanpons for nosebleeds, these little sticks, they look like popsicle sticks that you jam in kids' nose and you hold them down.
Yeah.
I tell you what, that is one of the best things that I have added to my first aid kits, because I have run into a ton of kids who've just gotten hit in the nose starts bleeding. Moms are like, no, tilt your head back. And you're like, no, lady, don't tilt your head back. Shove this in their nose, close it, tilt their head forward, put an ice pack on the back of the neck if you want to do that. The best thing to do. And then just gauze and Vaseline, like those single-serving sterile Vaseline things, because kids get cracked in the eye all the time, and then they get like a split in the eyelid. And you don't want a dry thing. You just want to get something over it, and so they can stop the bleeding. So stop the bleeding, and then put like a piece of gauze with Vaseline on it, so they can go off and get stitches or whatever they're gonna do. But yeah,
Your kid's boxing?
No, every time, literally every time you go to a pool party, those are the two injuries: a bloody nose because somebody dives into a pool head first and cracks their head, so you got wounds on the forehead. I got another kid who got a relatively flat dodgeball thrown at him, split his eye right open. I was like, holy crap! Right here in the pool. I'm trying to drink a beer, and I'm holding a piece of gauze to the kid's head. It's yeah, exactly. Where? Wait, hold on. Where is it? We got to get this one up here. Got me. That's the child at the pool party that I'm dealing with. It's Rocky Balboa.
I'm in the same shoes as you, just a couple years younger. Our split's pretty similar, but mine are 6 and 9.
So not too long ago, I don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole, but there was a family that lived across the street from me. And this guy, the dad, had all these stickers with his name, and it was the Cut Man underneath it. He had this cool little, it was almost like barbershop text, if that makes sense, scroll work and stuff like that. And it said the Cut Man, and he had his name and all that stuff. Turns out he was a UFC cut man. He was the guy that would go to the UFC, and he had little elastic band with all the little Stapix and Stypic pencils and Vaseline Q-tips and all that stuff. And he was the guy that would put the ice on and do all that stuff in between rounds. That was his job. That was his full-time gig. And I'm like, damn, that is an interesting thing to fall into. But anyway, there you go. Hey, that's probably not why you came to the Ham Radio Crash Course, is it? I'm guessing not, but yeah. Anybody else do anything fun or interesting in radio this week?
I did.
Hey, Josh.
I did.
How are you?
So many people. I did not expect that many. I was not looking.
Hey, Josh.
Yes. KE2.
I restored a Kenwood TS 530S. It's kind of like a dinosaur, diamond in the rough, but put some new tubes and finals into it, and it seems to be quite an amazing radio. From I don't know what year it was made. I'm assuming late 70s or early 80s, but it seems to be pretty nice now.
Nice. How do you know it? What do you do? So you went through and did a whole little power checkout on it. You align the receiver, all that fun stuff, and in addition to just swapping out the tubes.
Yeah. Me and one of my local club members came over, and he gave me a hand with it. And we put up 80 meter antenna and a couple others and gave it a run through, and it seemed to have worked just fine. Now, however, I'm having quite a hard time. I'm looking for a microphone for this, and it's a 4-prong microphone for this Kenwood. I've looked and I've searched the internet, but I have not found one. And
104.
you know,
D104.
Yep, D104.
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 There you go.
Comment?
There's an English company called Technofix. They sell microphones.
I go straight for a Heil XLR.
Do they sell D104s, Mike?
No, but they sell replacement microphones for nearly every radio made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but D104 is cooler, though.
Looks like that
They're
radio
really
came out in
expensive.
1981.
What, the 104s?
All right.
And make
But
a
here, they're
comment
like
when you get a chance.
$200.
All right, we're gonna. Okay, if you guys want to take that to the chat room, drop your links. Drop your links to the recommendations on the microphones. Help him out. So go to #live-stream for the chat. You guys drop the links to the mics he should check out. Who had a comment? Go ahead, and then we'll go back to who did something fun in AM radio.
I think a couple of us did, but I didn't let the first one go first before me if they want.
I was just going to say that radio was made in 1981 according to RigPix.
Good. All right, we've radio is good. Who wants to add?
I had the other one.
Is it with regards to that radio?
Oh no, I was going to talk about the power delivery that you showed.
Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, sorry. All right. I just wanted to bring up the clarify something that you showed.
Clarify away.
So those portable power delivery battery packs that you showed, and I was even trying to search for you guys to find on USB.org, the official website chart, but anyway, I couldn't find the chart. But anyway, the required voltages that power delivery packs have to have jump from 9 volt to 15. They can have 12 volt, but they're not required to. So I just wanted to point out that if you guys are looking for a battery pack that offers power delivery and you want 12 volts, make sure it puts out 12 volts because it's optional. And I also wanted to clarify that little wire that you showed is not just a dumb wire, because you kind of went quick on it. It has some kind of chip or resistor. I don't know how it does it, but it tells the power pack, hey, spit out 12 volts. So that wasn't just a dumb wire that you showed. It actually is kind of a smart wire, if you will.
Well, if I made it sound like that was a dumb wire, that was not the intention. Plus, I've made multiple videos on that wire setup. That was a kit, the wire and those adapters. Those were all a kit, and I've used that on my 12-volt QRP radios many times to operate, actually. So I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
It can be a bit of the Wild West. So as always, buyer beware. I didn't mention it, but you should have a multimeter in your kit. Multimeters are going to be a hugely important tool for your amateur radio journey, so make sure you add something like that to the list as well. Even if it's a cheap one from Harbor Freight.
I wasn't trying to disparage you or
I know
say
you
that
weren't.
you
I know you weren't.
or say that you hadn't covered it before or anything like that.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to clarify. No, it's a good point you're making, because it's not a joke. You want to make sure that your power source is putting out the right voltage. That's a good point. Completely. I did not take any offense to that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Case in point. Why is this? Hello, bud. Hello. Bro, focus. There we go. Like this EEV blog multimeter. This is one of my favorite multimeters. This is my Shack multimeter. I use it all the time. Great. Use that to test out all your little coaxial plugs. We could do that later. I will say this Anker power brick, I've had no problem getting 12 volts out of it successfully. And so, yeah, I guess they can not follow the standard, or they could just elect to go to 15 volts. That's sure. But this one's been great so far. All right. Very good. All right. I'm going to take a last call on who did something fun in amateur radio before we go to open questions.
I'm working on a Henry amplifier.
Frank, I heard Frank. Go ahead.
I got to work and play with an IC 705 on Wednesday.
Ooh.
Yeah, I hadn't played with one in a while. Definitely a learning curve trying to remember everything. But I did get Jason, Ham Radio 2.0, at a park on 5. No, we were using battery 10 watts.
Yeah, he and his wife actually were out there doing a Parks on the Air. I missed him. I was literally in a meeting, and I got out of work, and I missed him by the time I got there. I was bummed out because I was like, oh, I'd love to make a contact with his wife. That'd be really cool because she was doing a POTA. I thought that was awesome.
Oh yeah, it was great. So he went first, and he got all the contacts he wanted, and then he passed the mic, and she spotted and all that.
He didn't even. I missed it. He didn't do 1 for 1. He got all of his contacts and said, "Here you go, honey. You take the rest."
Yeah, because
she was probably busy doing something.
Right. He worked all the contacts, and then about 10 minutes later, I saw her spotted. I'm like,
That's
hey,
funny.
I can work Emily now.
He notoriously, though, doesn't like pass the mic because he and Frank have done that before, and they've. I've been with them when they've talked about that they just don't like to do that. Neither one of them do.
Bro, it's your wife.
I get it. I totally get it, but.
Leia and I did a POTA down at Crystal Cove. I was operating well before she got there, and by the time she, came on over, we might, we passed it. Throwing no shade. I'm not throwing any shade at Jason.
Yeah,
I think that's funny.
But I don't mind working people that are doing, that are passing the mic or. I've had 4 guys, oh, hey, hold on for the third operator, and it's like, I don't care. I'm fine.
Really quick in the chat, Dan is saying it's the Discord is asking him to verify phone number and all that stuff. So a lot of times when people run into trouble with that, it likely means that you already have a Discord account. Discord is a service. If you already have a Discord account, you use the same account to join our server. We're just one of the many servers on Discord. So you may have to recover your account, go through that whole process, but you should be good to go.
2-factor authentication.
So yeah, I was helping Dan out there a little bit. Yeah, we worked that one out, and he was still having issues with it, so he's going to try and work it out on his end.
Okay, yeah. Dan, come back in and give a shout if you still have a problem. We might have a workaround, but I don't know. So all right.
Can I do mine real quick?
Real quick, and then I'm going to take questions.
So,
go for it.
I actually got to work Callum yesterday.
Oh, no way. How?
100 watts with the 7300.
On your Delta Loop, though?
On the Delta Loop.
Wow,
yes, on the
good
Delta
for
Loop.
you.
Yeah, I was so shocked. And I'll post a picture in the chat.
So what band was it on?
20 meters.
Okay.
So that's also a little bit surprising to me. The last time I think I got him was on 10. So yeah, and you know what? Last night too on the HRCC chat, I actually heard Josh. Barely, but I heard him.
Yeah, I was. Was that for the net?
Yeah, I always get on the net.
Yeah, I think it was. I was pushing about 300 watts. I didn't try and do anything crazy, but no, it was not a good night either.
No, the light, and we've had storms here all week long, and that noise is just part of it. It's just I tried to run 160 meters last night, and it was just a nightmare. And normally I even have like almost no noise floor on 160. And yeah, last night it was just it was unworkable.
Yeah, it was a lot. I was getting lightning crashes into California, just picking them up from everywhere we were hearing. No local stuff.
Yeah.
It was all just coming in over the band.
Yeah, they were right on top of me.
Oh,
that storm is still out there. I'm looking at the lightning map right now, Don, and like I mentioned the other day, it seems like there's a line from down there in Texas all the way up to Chicago of constant lightning storms. It's absolutely ridiculous, but funny, sort of.
In a haha lightning crashes kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, my pond is bigger than I have ever seen it, almost to the point of overflowing. It has overflowed the bridge that goes over it.
All right. I'm going to go to open questions now. So here's how this works. We want to hear from newcomers first. We want to get you on the air. We want to, take the people that are interested in this. And if you're having trouble, we want to get you over your hurdle, get you on the air, hopefully get you on the road to making contacts, that whole 9 yards kind of thing, right? So it doesn't really matter what the question is. Even if it's not ham radio related, it's just radio related. We'll try and help you out. But we always start with the Discord first. That's why I was saying, hey, join the Discord if you want to. So what we do is if you are new to the Discord here for the first time and would like to say hi or ask a question, all you got to do right now is hit your PTT button and say your name, and I'll come back to you. So is there anybody who wants to break the ice, be the first one to say hi or ask a question? Come now.
Hey, Josh, it's Alan.
Hey, Alan, I heard you first. You're the one. How's it going, man?
It's going good. Just both sharing something I did this week and then asking for advice.
I love it. Go for it.
So I did my first POTA activation on 2 meters this week, and I did terrible. Got 5 contacts, and I guess I'm struggling to figure out what I did wrong. I was on a handheld. So I was on top of a mountain, transmitting, I think, at like 9.5 watts, started at 2 meters, then went over to 580, then went back to 520. I just kept flip-flopping just because I was competing with like 4 other people as well, doing POTA. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, what can I do better next time?
So by chance, were you on a summit? Like, could it qualify as summits on the air? Because you activated that summit if you got 5 contacts.
I think so. I just was trying to make it easy for myself and just start with POTA before moving to POTA and SOTA.
You honestly, with 5 contacts, it's really easy to start a SOTA account. Just go make a SOTA account and go to SOTA logs. Like if you Google SOTA logs, you can manually input the SOTA logs really fast. Since you made 5, you activated that summit. So you're on your way already. All right. So then with regards to parks on the air, you're saying there was 2 other stations. Where were you, by the way? Where are you located, if you don't mind me asking?
I was in northern New Jersey, and there's a few, I guess, hills, not mountains, but hills within range of each other. And it was essentially competing with other folks that were just out of reach but could still kind of hear each other.
Okay, so what kind of antenna did you have on your radio?
Yeah, so I had I think it's like a Larson 150, but it's the 2 meter. It's like a 40-something inch antenna on top of my car.
Oh, so you had 50 watts you were running.
No, I was only running a handheld into the antenna, so it's just 9.5.
Okay. Well, then I kind of amend my statement because I thought you were on a handheld. If you were in your car, then you probably can't do summits on the air. Summits on the air, usually you have to walk to the summit, at least under your own power to get there. So sorry about that. Okay. So I've only been in New Jersey once in my life, and I know that it can be hit or miss with some of like how well you can get out. What were the signal reports you were getting from other people? Do you think you were getting true signal reports, or were they just kind of saying 5.9 and fine business OM kind of thing?
The folks that heard me said I was very strong and I could hear them very strong. And then I could barely hear some folks, but it was one letter of their call sign and it just didn't count. So the 5 people I got, I actually could hear, and everybody else I couldn't. It was just all static.
So you could hear traffic. Oh, here's the other thing. Did you try turning squelch off on your radio, or was it all just maybe your squelch was too high by chance?
I had squelch on, I guess squelch off or whatever, but I wanted to make sure I could hear all the radio noise. So I had it.
Okay, so that's the right move, is turn the squelch off. So you did that. Boy, hold on, I'll take comments in a second. So just let me get through the rest of my thoughts here. Did you wait until the other stations kind of packed up and stopped?
That is one thing I did not do. And I also want to just comment too that, like, I was only transmitting at 9.5 watts from a handheld plugged into the antenna, which I realized if I had more power, maybe people could have heard me. But
yeah. So that's another good point, is that in your case, because you had a mobile antenna setup, you're probably going to be better off with a mobile radio to get 50 watts, because if you double it, right, every time you double the power, you get half an S unit. So if you went from 9 to 20 and then from 20 to 40, that's a full S unit of power, and a little bit of extra on the back end to 50. Yeah, that probably would have helped you out a lot. Did you try and work park to park to the other stations?
So my first 4 contacts was park to park with 2 operators sitting at the same park. But if that makes sense, it was two operators, but 2 parks, so it was 4 contacts. That was my first go.
Sure.
So yeah, park to park is really what I got.
How does that antenna work normally for you? Is it functioning? Do you know that it works well?
Yeah, it works, I think, generally well. I haven't had any issues with it.
Okay, so you're have you tested it all for SW? So when I mean like an SWR test in this case, I'm just like making sure that it's not just like grossly out of whack kind of thing. Did you have to tune it or anything like that, or you just started using it right out of the package?
Right out of the package. I haven't been able to afford buying some testing equipment, so I know that's one thing I still need to do.
Okay. I hope this isn't asking too much of a question, but like, what city are you in New Jersey? Out of curiosity.
I live in Cranford, New Jersey, but I was on Garrett Mountain. I think it's Garrett State Park or Mountain Reserve State Park.
Because I got a buddy that's in the chat that lives in New Jersey, and I don't know if he's close to you or if he can hear that park. He might be able to help you out, like just to do a sanity check kind of thing. I'm waiting to see.
I'll connect with him.
Yeah, I don't know, Lars, are you in the chat or not? Garrett Mountain is 20 minutes from me, he said. So you got a ham buddy in your local area there.
Josh had a couple quick questions.
Yeah, so let's go to, I think we had a comment. Was it Mike first, and then we'll go to Grayman?
The comment was actually me, Josh.
Oh, God, you sound a little bit like Mike. Can you do this in a British accent, please, John?
Unfortunately not.
No, don't. I'm just kidding.
So Garrett Mountain is close enough to where you should be hitting the guys in New York that have beams. It may have just been a coincidence on time of day when they weren't actually out looking for people.
I have the dumbest... Wait, hold on. Sorry, John. I hate to interrupt you. Did you spot yourself by chance?
I spotted myself like 10 times.
Okay.
I kept refreshing.
All right, John, go ahead. Continue with your questions.
No problem. I was at work, so I wouldn't have seen the spot anyway all day. But there's a lot of guys in New York that have beams, and a lot of guys over in the western area that have beams. I've noticed on 2 meters and 70 centimeters, it's really hit or miss when I'm up there doing Garrett Mountain and up in that whole area and Palisades and all that area. It's really, really, really hit or miss for 2 meters and 70 centimeters. I mean, I almost always only get 3 to 6 contacts on 2 meters, 70 centimeter,
Really?
and then the rest I have to make on HF on the 891. So you may have actually just not been getting out there, like you said, with the power. You know, unfortunately, a lot of the New York City guys, it's almost impossible with all that RFI for them to get out to you or you to get into them with that low amount of power. I know when people activate Ellis Island and stuff like that, they have to take, you know, a 5 watt or greater handheld, and it can sometimes take them 7 or 8 hours to get that park activated.
On 2 meters? Oh no!
Yes.
Oh no! Oh no! That's a lot of time, man.
Yeah. There was one of the guys, KD2GIY, and a bunch of his other guys. They went together, and they had tri-bands. So they were 6 contacts, and it took them 4 hours to get the other 4 contacts to activate it.
No, man, no. You got to do HF at that point. Like Ellis Island on HF would be totally doable.
They wouldn't let them in the park with the HF. They said handhelds only, and you have to use a regular
I could do HF
rubber duck
handheld.
antenna.
I could do that. I could do that with a telescopic whip. I could do that. No problem.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying they were like apparently really strict that day. Like Ellis Island is apparently hit or miss with what they let you in with.
You could literally roll in there with a KX2 with a vertical sticking out of it and a radial wire hanging off of it, and you could do it. You could totally do it. KH1, yeah, KH1 for days. KH1 would be great on Ellis Island. I mean, but what's the park, the launch point for the ferry down to Ellis Island, the park that I activated in New York?
Oh, crap! I forget the name.
You can easily activate that one. Easily.
It's a POTA park too. Oh
Yeah,
my god, I'm drawing a blank.
It's I can go back and look at my records, but dude, that park is an easy spot to activate.
Liberty
Obviously,
State Park.
What's that?
Liberty State Park.
No, it's the one on the coast. It's where that big round circle fort thing is.
Battery Park?
No, Battery Park. I think it's Battery Park. It's the battery, right? The big circle thing, the fort. Anyway, okay. Okay. Let's go back. So how do we get you successful in Parks on the Air? All right. Well, likely, and I hate to say this, but you probably need a 50-watt transmitter. It sounds like that's going to be what you need. What is you said you have a Larson antenna. The Larson should be fine. Who else? Anybody want to add anything to that? If you got to do 2 meters for Parks on the Air, what would you take?
Yeah.
Josh, is there any RF up in that area? Like, are you competing with towers and stuff, or is it a pretty quiet RF area?
Garrett Mountain.
No, the Garrett Mountain itself is quiet, but the surrounding cities are RF heavy.
Okay, so it's not a. The reason I ask is that we've got some summits out here in California that are just chock full of RF and antenna towers, and the descents is so bad you can't hear anything. So it sounds like that's at least not the issue that you're competing with. It's just getting out. So yeah, the additional power might help with that.
Quick comment.
Go ahead, comment.
For those of you in New Jersey, or anywhere in that area, if Garrett Mountain, if you drive an extra hour, I know that sounds far, but if you drive an extra hour, go up to High Point State Park, highest point in New Jersey. I was with a handheld on 5 watts hitting stations 60 miles away in Pennsylvania and New York just last weekend. So if your radio can't do that, then there's a bigger problem. But I would recommend heading up there. The parking lot is literally at the summit of the mountain. You can just park your car and work from within the car. It's a summit and a park. You can do both. So
yeah. And to add on to that, the one day that I did it with one of those Yagi antennas, I forget what the ones that you use for contacting the space station.
The elk or the arrow?
The arrow. I got 170 contacts on 2 meters and 70 centimeters with that antenna at the top of 5 point.
Oh, well, so, okay. Well, that adds the question was, would a Yagi help? So, yes, in this case, a Yagi probably would get you the rest of the way, it sounds like. I think the arrow will handle 100 watts.
Well, Lars beat me to it. Unfortunately, I was listening and I didn't grab the mic fast enough. But I was going to say Garrett Mountain's pretty low. It's only around 400 feet. Okay. And the problem he's going to have is there are a number of mountain ranges between him and civilization. So there's the Pochucks, there's the Harriman Mountain Range, there's the Mount Beacon Mountain Range. Pretty much everything to the west and north he's going to be, I don't want to say he's in a hole, but line of sight's going to be very difficult. He's got a great shot into New York, Long Island, Queens, as you drop off towards sea level, or 200 to 300 feet above. Okay. But north at High Point, and I used to observe up there, High Point is the High Point's well over 1,500 or 1,800 feet. So he has a good shot of making Greylock, Mount Beacon, basically Albany. You could do some serious, especially if you have something with some gain and some directionality. You definitely can do some damage and some points up there. So it's a great place to go, and it's pretty RF friendly up there as well.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
I'll have to agree with Steve on that. The Garrett Mountain is great, but any northeast to southwest south is the best bet of southeast south. Sorry, is where you're going to hit your targets. Basically, towards the Bayonne, New York area north. Anything west and southwest is going to be dead. So yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing south. Yeah.
Yeah, anything south is south of like Tom's River is just you're just below sea level, right? Like 40. I think my property's 43 feet above sea level. It's like nothing. My furthest contact, I'm just looking at the logs now, from High Point was High Point until Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, which is like 85 miles or something like that.
That's pretty good.
I got a follow-up question.
That was all simplex, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
146520, and then whatever the 440 is, 442 or whatever it is.
Follow-on question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So in my situation, kind of back to the live stream that you had earlier, would a ferrite core or a high bandpass filter help in that situation?
So that's exactly where Adam was going. Why he asked if it's an RF saturated area. So if you have, okay. Sometimes with FM radios, they don't give you like the S meter noise floor, so you don't really have an understanding of like what your relative noise is. So a bandpass filter could help you, but in this case, it's probably not the problem. It's just you're getting out is the problem, and also probably the low elevation that you're coming at a lot of folks too. So bandpass is probably not the way to go. It's not necessarily something you shouldn't try. The problem is as you start to add more power to your output, you're going to have a bandpass filter that can accommodate that power rolling through it, which a lot of them may not.
If he's heading up to High Point, it might not be a half bad idea if you do have a bandpipe. There are a number of repeaters up there, but they're far enough removed. I don't think there's anything up there in the commercial two-way, in the 150, 160, 180. Most of those sites have long since gone to digital or up in the trunking or higher bands where it's 800 megahertz or higher, so that you don't find a lot of that as much. Metro North and some of the other services that were in the 160, 150, 160, 170 megahertz range used to have some, 200, 300 watt repeaters up there, and I don't think those are actually in use anymore. But at High Point, you may want to be careful with that, only because of desense, which you're not going to eliminate with a toroid or something like that. That's going to be, adjacent co-channel or on-channel interference, and you're just, you're at the mercy of the performance of your receiver at that point.
Yeah, it should. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to add one more thing. Sorry.
Yeah.
The Garrett Mountain guys, I know a lot of the hams up there that do the 2 meter, 70 centimeter POTA, they are usually running directional. Almost all of them are using directional antennas. I was up in Ramsey, for those of you familiar with the area, and I was able to communicate with them on a handheld from Ramsey to Garrett Mountain, no problem, but they're using directional antennas. So if you're just you run a standard vertical, it's not impossible. It's just much, much harder.
There was a comment from Ham Bandit on the YouTube that said, "Get on 10 meters and work the world."
Yes.
So you do happen to be at a really good spot in the solar cycle right now, where a 10-meter radio, even a really cheap single sideband 10-meter radio, and even a 10-meter ham stick, you would be able to activate wherever you go on 10 meters at this point. Like, I have total faith that you will have no problems activating any POTA, except for maybe downtown New York. That's a whole different story. Manhattan is a nightmare for POTA activations, but 10 meters is where it's at right now. You might want to consider that.
Comment?
Go ahead, comment.
I was just wondering the setup, but since he's using VHF, would shorter coax the run would help for a situation to get a little bit more power out? No.
Well, hold on. Let's ask him. Tom, how much coax are you running? It was Tom, right? Did I screw that up?
Alan.
Oh, was it Alan? Jesus, I'm sorry.
It was a mag mount, so I don't know, 15, 16 feet or something.
You're fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I apologize for screwing that
That's
up.
nuts.
Yeah, you're fine. Does that help, Alan?
It's very helpful. I appreciate it all, and I'm going to connect with the guy in New Jersey.
Yeah, do that. Please.
I had another quick kind of comment.
All right, Gray Man
yes.
The final to you, Gray Man.
All right. Well, so a lot of great things were brought up. A couple things I would probably just in general when you're doing these activations is the time of day and ensuring that you're going to have people there on the other side to respond. But I'm just looking at the Mount Garrett Reservation State Park. It looks like Whiskey Alpha 2 Whiskey Lima activates that on a regular basis. You might just reach out to them and kind of get some pointers since they're pretty familiar with the park.
Oh, don't talk to that guy. He's a nut. I'm kidding. I know the guy. He's pretty nice. He's a good guy.
You're like, hey, that's my call sign, man.
I know. He's a good guy. He'll help you out too.
I will also say this. I know it's not soda, but soda was mentioned. Soda in parking lots on the summits, you can do that, but you have to walk a reasonable distance away from the car. You can't actually be in the car.
You have to be within You have to be within the activating range of the summit, though. So drive-ups count. Okay, so assuming that you're within the activation range, which Adam, what is the activation range in meters or feet? Because I'm sure he remembers it off the top of his head.
25 meters, about 82 feet.
There you go.
So that's vertical from the summit. So as long as you're within that, you're in the activation zone, and as was mentioned, you just can't use your vehicle as part of your station. You have to be some undefined arbitrary distance away from your vehicle.
So when I go ahead.
Well, I was the one that was asking about the soda. I live in Kansas, so I'm not far away, but I'm just like theoretically, like if I ever get a chance to go out there, like I'm 100% permanently disabled, and so trying not to get emotional, but I was asking about, like, is there an exception for disabled people? But apparently not.
You still can't use your vehicle, but I think that's the intent of the flexibility on how far from your vehicle you can be. So you can interpret that how you like, and you could be 5 feet from your vehicle and still be, not in the immediate proximity of your vehicle from your ability perspective.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
As long as you're
sure
5 feet from vehicles, fine. But as long as you're within that 82 feet of the prominence point of the summit. So, for example, and then I'll let Josh go on here. We have Mount Diablo in the San Francisco Bay Area. It is a state park and a soda summit. So it is literally you drive up and you park on the prominence. The plate is right in the center of the parking lot. You drive up there. I get out of the car and I walk 5 feet and I'm activating the soda and the POTA at the same time. So your mileage may vary, but within those limitations, and Ferris, I get you. I'm not 100% myself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good
thank
question.
you.
Yeah. We did get a question on YouTube, which I'll answer really quickly, and then we'll get back to the Discord side. Ken Campbell says, for listening with an SDR, I have a 50-foot RG58 cable. Would it be better for me to have a shorter cable if I'm trying to listen to lower bands? So no, the coaxial cable does not really contribute to your ability to listen to lower bands or not. It's going to be the antenna that you have up in the air. So if it's a long wire antenna, lengthening that wire would allow you to be more effective in receiving lower frequency signals. That's the general statement there. All right, back to the.
As far as loss goes, on the lower bands, the losses are lower in coax, so you don't really have to worry about loss so much with
significantly lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what he meant by lower bands, but usually if people are telling me they're shortwave or SDR radio lower bands, and they're mentioning RG58 or whatever, I'm assuming they're in HF. So if you're in the HF frequencies in the lower bands, like 40, 80, and further, you're probably fine. All right. Go ahead, Mike. Mike's here.
You're getting it backwards. Lower bands means higher frequency.
Lower bands. Oh, okay. All right. I was thinking lower frequencies. Maybe there's a clarification there.
The same here.
But yes, good point, Mike. So we'll see if they come back to us with a clarification, but you should be fine. Question was, where did I get my cup, my red Solo cup? It should be linked in my Amazon affiliates. If you take the link in the video description, you can find it if you go to my Amazon store. Excuse me.
That also means lower frequency.
Okay.
Because it's a big cup, you don't have to drink, you don't have to fill it so much.
That's true. Lower frequency of having to refill. That's true. Very true. All right, going back to the Discord, is there anyone who's here for the first time that would like to say hi or ask a question? Come now. We're waiting for you.
Question.
Golden Masters. Go ahead, bud.
So I'm a young one from Missouri. I do not have my ham license yet, but I am studying a lot. I have a BTEC small radio in my car, and I am trying to find a mobile whip that I can put on my car. But the only problem is I don't want to have any center loading coils. I've had a problem with those, and I just don't really want to deal with them. So are there any whips out there that I can just put in my car and not have to deal with any of that?
Yeah, so I got two questions. First, who introduced you to Burt Reynolds? And two, is your vehicle a Pontiac Firebird?
That's very good questions. I love Smoking the Bandit. I just love that. And no, it's a Optima, sadly.
Okay, Kia Optima with the Burt Reynolds avatar. I like it. So that radio, I'm sorry, I don't know enough about that radio. What frequency are you trying to operate on?
So it's 2 meter, 70 centimeter. I don't plan leaving 2 meter much. I plan on staying on 2 meter a lot.
Do you have a mount already there? Is it NMO or SO239 or what do you got?
I'm flexible with a lot of things. I'd like a mag mount, but I can go with much.
Okay. So when you say center loaded, are you talking about the little springy bit in the middle of some of the vertical antennas, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I'm talking about the things that you got to kind of screw on to the whip there.
Okay. Yeah. No, easy answer is go get yourself a Comet SBB5. There you go. SBB5, I think, is the NMO version, but they have it in PL259 as well. I have used those antennas for over a decade, and I will hook it onto just about any mount, so long as it's a mag mount that will receive it, or a lip mount on the hatch or trunk or hood or whatever. And I've had no problems with that antenna. It's a fantastic performer.
Yeah, I've looked at the SBB7. I've been eyeballing that for a while. And yeah, I guess the 5 is something I need to look at as well.
Let me pull up the SBB7 just so I'm tracking
I have the SBB7.
So
it works phenomenally.
Yeah, you're probably okay. So the SBB7 does have that little. They've got the little bits there in the middle, right? That's what you're trying to avoid.
Yeah, that is.
All right, so let's show you the SBB7 or the SBB5. This is like literally the no-brainer. There's like a little springy bit in the middle, and that's it. The SBB5 is the NMO one. I'm generally an NMO guy at this point now for connections on mobiles, but they have another version that is the one that's for PL259 UHF connector style. They work great.
Yeah,
I've had very little problems with it.
What I was looking at looked exactly like that. I guess I must have been looking at the PL version of the
probably.
SBB5.
Yeah, I think I have both of them, and it's like $60. You buy whatever mount you want, so long it's the same connector, and you're good.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Question.
Portable Ham, you got the question? Go for it, bud.
So I'm just curious why you don't want the loading things in the antenna. Like, I'm just kind of curious.
Oh, our friend there with the Burt Reynolds avatar, come back. He was asking you, why don't you want the little loaded bits with the adjusters?
He might have disconned, but I think he said that he hasn't had very much good luck with them. I think is what he said at the beginning of the question. But I could be wrong, but he's obviously not responding.
He had a bad experience. I don't know. I got to tell you, this is like the most brainless. The SBB5 is like the most brainless antenna. It just works. I've never had a fuss with it. I get great signal reports on Simplex. That's what I use. So there you I don't know. There you go. But
the
I do.
diamond version is also good.
I do gotta say, there's something that warms my cockles a little bit when we got somebody who comes in and says, "I'm a younger guy," and his avatar is Burt Reynolds, and I think he was sitting in the fire in the Trans Am. I was like, "That's, hey, good on you, young people, for acknowledging the important parts of American culture." All right.
Well, I am eastbounding down at the moment.
Are you eastbounding it down? All right, very good. Go on and trucking. All right.
Is that song stuck in everyone's head right now?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You think?
Yeah. All right, who's next on the Discord? Anybody who'd like.
Question?
Well, hold on. Make sure you're of the right grouping here. Are you a first timer that would like to say hi or ask a question? Is that you? Then go ahead. I think it was Chuck.
Yeah, this is Chuck.
All right, Chuck, you got it.
Yes, I'm a
bud.
first timer.
All right. Well, we try to prioritize first timers first. Don't worry, we'll answer all the questions, but first timers get priority. So you got it, buddy. Go for it.
Okay, well, I got my license back in February, and today I have an Enfield or Enfed half-wave antenna.
Okay.
And I'm wanting to get a second one just to compare the two. Any suggestions?
Well,
I got
what do you
lots
have
of
now?
big trees.
What do you have now?
I have the Enfed half-wave.
No, but like, what? Sorry, when you said you want to get a second one, I thought you meant you wanted to get a second Enfed. You mean you want to get a second antenna?
Correct.
Okay. So what bands are you trying to operate on right now?
10 through 40.
Okay, well, good answers. So since you went with an Enfed, can I ask you, how do you have it configured? Are you throwing it up into the trees, long wire, kind of inverted V style up into the trees? How do you have it set up?
Yeah, it goes up into a tree and then attaches to another tree.
Okay. Do you have a space that you could set up like a vertical on the ground by chance?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. You get the DX Commander answer. Have you ever looked at a DX Commander antenna?
I have. Is his name Colin? I think I've watched
Callum.
him quite a bit on
Callum.
Callum.
Our
yeah.
Lord Callum. That's right. So the reason why I mentioned the DX Commander and why I would mention a vertical is so you have a polarization difference. So if you're going with the DX Commander, that's a vertically polarized HF antenna versus the way you're running your antenna. I'm probably assuming it's more horizontal, although I don't know the exact configuration, but I'm guessing it's more horizontal. So that is a cool juxtaposition. So if you were to use like a coax switch to be able to switch between antennas, it's really cool to phase between vertical and horizontal polarization on your receiver. So that antenna would be that'd be good for that. I think that'd be fun.
Okay, I'll put that on the wish list. Thanks.
Cheers. Anybody have any comments on that? Would you recommend another antenna? I know Don's going to say a Delta Loop. Am I right, Don?
No, you know, I'm a big fan of Callum, right?
I do know that, but I do know you're loving that Delta Loop. I do know that.
I don't understand it, but boy, does it work well.
If you have a horizontally polarized antenna right now, if you're looking for a second naturally, a vertical would be the way to go. As it absolutely can help you, especially in a pileup.
It can.
Where depending on propagation, which absolutely scrambles polarization, it could be horizontal 1 hour and vertical the next. Not to mention knowing the height requirements to have a decently performing horizontal antenna, whether it's Enfed or dipole. Getting it high in the air, getting it high off the ground is typically a more difficult issue than putting up a vertical. And so when it comes down to putting energy towards the horizon, especially at heights below 40 feet, it's hard to beat a vertical in any configuration.
That's a really good point from Steve. Always make sure, just because you have an antenna in the air, it doesn't mean that you can't improve upon that antenna. And so if you've only been throwing your line into the tree by hand, and that's the height that you can get it to, then maybe getting an assisted launcher or a drone drop of your line could get that antenna up even higher. If you can do that, that will improve your station just a ton. right? That will improve things a ton.
Significantly.
So, yeah, so that actually, just Steve brings up a really good point. Height is might, regardless of the antenna. Maybe not the verticals. A lot of ground-based verticals aren't going to necessarily like that. But
No,
if
height doesn't have anything to do with the vertical, especially when it's a base-loaded antenna.
But an end-fed like that, if you can get that thing as high up as you can, even if it means you got to take the feed point off the ground, it's still gonna it'll do a lot for you. So you might want to consider that too.
Yeah, well, so today my feed point's about 15 feet off the ground, and then I probably go up another 15 feet into the tree.
Oh, yeah. What happens is, as you bring and again, horizontally polarized antennas and the mutual coupling to Earth are significantly different, or very different than they are in a vertical, in the way it interacts with ground wave. So with a horizontally polarized antenna, as you start to decrease in height from half wave, the losses become higher. Your earth coupling losses become higher. Your feed point impedance starts to drop, which generates more currents into ground or into the earth, and your pattern becomes more straight up than it does. Becomes more circular and straight up, like NVIS, more vertical. And in a lot of situations, that's very desirable, especially if you're doing short hop or close-in contacts within a few hundred miles. Sometimes that's very desirable. But if you're looking to work DX, anything really less than a half wave, but even slightly less than a half wave, anything around a half wave or under is going to be difficult, especially at 40 meters, because you're talking 50, 60 feet at that point. And that's why you'll find most broadcast antennas, which are in the broadcast band, are vertical, because getting that altitude, getting that height, 300-400 feet off the ground, that's not a trivial issue. So back in the day, Loran stations that used to run near just above the broadcast band used to have 400 or 500 foot vertical towers. They used to run the dipoles, or the wire array, around on large steel antenna structures. There used to be one just up the road from me in northern Maine. It was a Master-Slave C station, and I think those were 600-foot towers. The actual antenna was strung from them near the top. So when you start to get into the low bands, like at 160 meters, this is one of the big problems. So getting the antenna up high, that's why 30 feet is great if you're operating 20 meters and up. That's fantastic. You'll have no problem there. But when you start to drop down into 40 meters in that territory, it becomes problematic.
Yeah, so let's go back a step. You have the feed point at 15 feet, and then you're able to take that wire another 15 feet up. Could you get that wire even higher up? That's the question that I got for you.
Oh, it's always possible.
Yeah, so I wouldn't I still like the DX Commander answer. I think you should pursue that if you're interested. If you truly want a second antenna, that's a great option. But you should also think about getting that your end-fed half wave up higher as well. I think that will help you out a lot.
Okay, you never know if it's good or bad, because I don't have anything to compare it to, and I've only been doing this for 6 months, so big learning curve.
Yeah, well, that's the coolest part about this, is you can keep changing things as time goes on and just get better and better and better over time. And I mean, that's kind of the better way to do it, is like just take your time and incrementally improve than to just try to do the best thing out of the gate. Because the reality is that you're all going to have, I mean, I'm learning constantly. You're all going to be learning constantly. Like, you got to start somewhere. Just get something on the air is the best thing, and then just incrementally improve as you go. So I hope that helped out. Thanks so much.
Yep. Thanks very much. Y'all take care.
Hey, Josh, one comment for.
So we'll go Richard first with a comment. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, it's more of a question for the gentleman. Which antenna are you primarily wanting to transmit off of? The end-fed or the secondary antenna?
To be truthful, I just want to compare the two and see which one's better.
So you would need something drastically, well, not drastically different, but a polarization change to a vertical is you're not going to, okay, so by the way, if that was your goal, I think that's slightly, you're not wrong in wanting to do that because, I mean, like that's what a lot of people look at. But when you're talking about polarization, the reason why we were talking about horizontal versus vertical polarization is that in the example Steve gave, in DX situations, in contesting situations, you will find that from the atmospheric chaos and randomness of our atmosphere, a polarized antenna might do better to that specific station you're trying to hear than a horizontally polarized antenna. And so in those cases, switching between the two and being able to pick the one that is the best for your radio to receive is going to be the way to go. There are actually radios that they'll take both inputs and they will phase them so that you get the best of both worlds, if you will, or they'll try to prioritize one over the other based off of signal-to-noise ratio and whatnot. And, you know, there's all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of rabbit holes you can go down in that space. Future stuff to learn as you go along. But yes, having two antennas that you can A-B compare, it doesn't mean one antenna is better than the other because the chaos of our atmosphere. But it's just a good second option to make more contacts, if you will.
100%.
Yeah. Very important clarification point.
Yeah, it's not a question of one's better than the other. They are different, and they are different for a reason, and you may favor one more than the other in a particular situation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's another comment in there. Go ahead, comment.
I was just going to say that if you want something dual purpose too, in terms of the DX Commander, the Classic or the Expedition also makes good for if you're going to travel as well and you have the room while you're traveling for like Parks on the Air and other types of stuff as well. Because both of those can be broken down and put up relatively easily, where something like the 12.4 and the 18 meter ones, they're not as mobile as the other two and very difficult to get up by yourself sometimes.
There you go.
Good meeting my family.
All right, does that help you out? Hope that helped.
Sure does. Thanks.
All right. So we got another YouTube chat. This is a good one from KC2SGI. Going on a work trip, I have an 891, a DigiRig, a Buddy Stick Pro, and an iPad with the FT4 FT8 app. By the way, I don't even know what that app is yet, so we'll get into that. Do I still need the sound card to do FT8? So first, let me just say this is a very, very important point for anybody who travels. You tell me. It sounds like you got everything you need. So I want you to go to your backyard, front yard, I don't care, side yard, whatever. Test this out. Like actually try. It sounds like you got everything. You need to go try this before you take my word on whether it'll work or not. My word means nothing. I need you to go actually try this and let me know if it works. Because actually, I want to hear if this FT4, FT8 app is the bee's knees, if you will, because I'm going to start telling people about it. I don't know that app. That's new to me. But I do know the DigiRig, I do know the 891, and I do know the Buddy Stick Pro, and all those things together should make a connection. Now, if you can do that over the iPad, over USB-C, I want to know about it. So I want you to go test it, and I want you to come back and tell me. And if you could do that in the next 15 minutes, I'd be even happier, because then I could start talking about it immediately, because that's big news. Right now, there's not a ton of FT8 applications on the iPad at all. Like, they don't exist. So that's huge. That's big. So there you go.
Hey, Josh, when you get a minute.
Jason, are you a, where are we going with this? Because we're still doing newcomer questions.
Oh, I can make it real quick if you.
Okay, go ahead.
I just got a quick update. Made my first contact on the 891 on MFJ 1982, 133 feet and fed on 20 meters, Michigan.
Congratulations. Well, where are you located?
Greensboro, North Carolina.
There you go. That's a good contact on 20. Congratulations. What, it was on single sideband, or what'd you do?
Upper sideband, 20 meters. It was 142 something. I can't remember, but it was upper sideband.
There you go. Congratulations on a good contact. I'm glad that thing's working for you.
All right, thank you, Josh. I'll let you get back to the newcomers. Thank you for letting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hang out. You can add your thoughts as we go along here. So anybody else that's here for the first time, remember Discord. You guys got priority here. That's why we got the Discord out here. Makes it easy for us to talk to you. Anybody out here for the first time would like to say hi or ask a question? Come now.
KM40UX over here. First time in the Discord chat, but I've been hanging around just saying hi.
All right. Nick Derhund. Where does that come from, that name?
Well, it actually happens to be the character you're seeing as my avatar. I ended up creating him, good Lord, probably 16 years ago now.
Okay. Is it what is like a coyote or a wolf? What is that? It's avatar to me, so it's kind of small. So you tell me.
Oh, he's just a silly old blue husky.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, hey, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you saying hi. It's that easy, kids. You can just come forward and say hi or ask a question. So any other newcomers want to make sure you answer. We want to answer your questions first. You have priority. Anybody here for the first time like to say hi or ask a question? Come now. I should point that way.
Question.
Nick, go ahead, man. Or Nate. Sorry, Nate.
That's all right. KJ5JHW here.
Right on.
So I'm running APRS and I'm running a mobile in my truck. I want to know if I can run both of them at the same time on one antenna, or do I need two antennas?
Oh, two radios on one antenna? You absolutely have to have them separated. There are devices that can do it, but most of the time I wouldn't bother with that. I would run two antennas.
You could run a split, Josh. The top makes that.
I didn't say you can't. I said you could run a device that allows you to split them, but I wouldn't bother with that. I would just put up a second antenna.
So just get a second antenna then.
Yeah. Particularly if you're doing APRS, you're going to be better off just having a separate 2-meter antenna. Just do that whole thing and just leave it alone. Get them, and then get the antennas. You know, if you add one side of the roof of your vehicle, get the other one on the other side. That kind of thing.
Speaking of APRS.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you, Nate.
Oh boy, here we go.
Well, we got one ham radio tube in the chat with a hot APRS moment.
Did you? I woke up this morning to an email with someone.
You've got
sending
mail.
Wishes my way.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that today is APRS Day?
Is it?
Really? Today is April 5th. APRS 5.
Yeah.
APRS.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know that.
That is hilarious.
I did not know that. That should be a national holiday, Mike.
Happy APRS Day, boys.
Happy APRS Day to you, too, as well.
How many contacts you make on APRS today, Game
What's
Murder?
that? You're fading out there. You're trailing off. Is that a niner in there?
You
0.
got doubled with APRS packets.
Hey, Mike, I made a contact in your native town.
This is not about me. Continue chatting.
I will, let's see. I don't have any hot APRS takes on this. It's just, you know what? APRS is working great, kids. Continue to work the APRSs. If you don't have APRS in your area, you could be the voice of change. Put up a digipeater. Help Mike out. If you're in Huntsville, Texas, put up a digipeater. We need to help our buddy out here. Put up an iGate.
I got a couple things for Meshtastic we'll be working on. So,
all right, very good. Yeah, myself included.
Those standoffs come in yet, Josh?
They're probably sitting at the front door, but I won't be doing that live because I already had a 12.9% beer. So hopping around on the roof, I could. You know what? You know what'd be funny is I could live stream me falling off of the roof, doing that. I could live stream that, but that also seems like not a good idea.
I would totally watch that.
Oh, I bet everybody would. I actually should live stream me effing around with antennas on the roof. That's actually not a bad idea.
Red Solo Cup.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, you mean you don't want to recreate National Lampoons?
I just don't want to die. That's my major. That's my major driving force.
And
I don't know.
Hang on to the gutter, and you'll be fine.
You think Leia would watch that?
Leia would watch it, and then she would just laugh. She's like, "There's no gutters. There's nothing saving him if he ends up sliding off the side."
Yeah, he doesn't have gutters.
There's
He
no
needs
gutters.
Well,
he needs
she-
gutters
she
and rain
was-
barrels.
She was in the chat earlier because
She
when I
was.
mentioned contacting Jason and Emily, someone confused them for you guys.
Different
I'm
people.
I'm just really curious if those standoffs work because I'll buy some myself if they function.
Yeah, so Lars sent me his solar Meshtastic node, which has been working great. I can actually I'll share my my phone screen in a second to it. But the problem is that it's not transmitting as good as I expect it to. And the reason I think is that I've mounted it to a 1-inch vertical pipe. That's the antenna mast for a lot of the other antennas up there. And so I think that the how close the node is, particularly its antenna, being right up against that metal pipe, it's causing problems on transmitting. And so I bought a standoff, which takes it about a foot away from that metal pipe, and at 915 megahertz. That should
be plenty.
Exactly. So Steve's in the chat. I knew he would know exactly. So yeah, receive-wise, we're fantastic. We're getting all the way down to I'm getting signals from San Diego, and I know they're hops, but the local comms, like just the local people I'm hearing, is through the roof. So I know that I just got to get myself away from that metal pipe, and I'll be good.
I'm really happy that thing's working for you.
I can already see it. In all my book learnings, this feels like the right answer. So I'm excited about that. Question. Go ahead.
Hey Josh, it's Alan again.
Hey buddy.
So I feel like I'm hogging the questions, but
hey, if you keep asking good questions, then I'm happy. We want to.
Oh, well, then
by the way,
not.
So everybody who's watching this, right? Every time we do these after chats, the questions that we get, it's your question, but there is someone else out there in the world that is waiting for that question to come up, and they might watch this and get the answer they need. So just think that you're helping out other people. That's the way I always look at this. So please ask your question.
Yeah, so it's not an antenna question and it's not a radio question. I want to better understand, how are you getting your antenna through a wall or a window or into your house, into the radio inside your ham shack? I realize like everybody is doing it differently, but I guess I'm struggling to understand. Do I need to put a giant hole through my wall to record? Like what do I do?
That's actually a really good question, because once upon a time MFJ made a pass-through device that was like it was like a 2x4 basically that they cut holes into for different coax spots, and they had a little ground drop and all that stuff. Like, it was a pretty cool little unit. The problem is now you've compromised your window, and you'd have to use 2x4s on the inside to like gusset it, I guess, to protect it. But for me, to be honest with you, straight, no whatever, screw down honesty, big old hole saw right through the side of the house, just core out a big old hole, and then take a big metal box, like basically it's the entry point box with a ground plane, copper ground plane, that all the lightning arresters go on, and a myriad of other things, and that thing just goes plop right on there, and it fits right in that hole, and then your coax runs into that. Now, is everybody going to do that? No. Could you take just a 1/2-inch drill bit and just run through there and run your coax into it, and then fill that up with expanding foam? Yeah, you can do that too. Coax is fairly resilient, and you're probably fine. People use all kinds of different options, so maybe we'll just open it up to the chat. What do you guys use to get coax into your shack? I saw Frank, so go ahead, Frank. You can be first.
Sorry, it was a little premature there. So I just dropped the link and tagged Alan. The KF7P entry boxes are absolutely fantastic. I love them. They also have grounding stuff for it, but do be aware you're going to pay a little bit of a pretty penny for everything if you get everything. Just the basic box, not a problem, but if you go all the way out, it's going to be a pretty penny for it, but it's worth it. And it doesn't even take that big of a hole, depending upon how much coax you run through. He's running, in his photos that he has from customer installs, there's one where there's, 5 or 6 runs of coax plus a ground strip that go through at least an inch big hole. And it's absolutely beautifully done.
So there's a couple of things here. I'll jump in for a second. Not yet. Yeah, like give me.
There's a window adapter you can get. I just saw it. It's on GigaParts, DX in there, and somewhere else. And basically what it is, it's 239 connectors on each end, and it's a flat strip. You open up your window, you lay it flat, you close it down, hook your coax to one end to the radio, and you antenna.
Well, you
MFJ,
got me.
It's no longer available.
So Comet has a window feed through. It's it's basically flat coax, right? So this is a flat piece of coax that you close the window on. The downside of this is that it's 100 watts limited. That's the best you can do out of this, which is not bad. To be honest with you, for considering what it is, it's not bad at all. But then guess what? DX Engineering has a window pass-through unit. I didn't even know about this. So here you go. It's basically a 2x4 that you hog out the middle of it, or maybe it comes hogged out. I don't know if they send you the 2x4 or not. But that's 5 coax pass-throughs with a ground lug. And the ground lug's really nice because then you take a fat, like a 6-gauge ground line, and then or flat strap braid, you can do that. Like just go straight down to a lightning arrestor, to a ground rod or something like that. That's great. That's a great option.
Yeah, I have the MSJ version of that, and those things are great. It's the only problem I have is that I'm on the second floor, so the grounding option is a little bit of a problem. But I've had it for over a year, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, but what I said earlier is that like MFJ's kind of defunct now, so we got to look for options outside of that.
Exactly.
And this
But
looks like pretty close to it. So go ahead, Don. Were you going to say something?
Well, yeah, that box that Frank was talking about, the other Frank is going to use one like that comes from DX Engineering, and it's far less expensive than the K7FP or whatever. I have one of the K7 FPs. They're absolutely fantastic. But like I said, there are alternatives to it that are less expensive, and DX Engineering just happens to have one that's a pretty nice box.
I got to tell you, there's nothing wrong with taking a 1/2-inch drill bit and just going through everything with it, and then just plugging that after you run the coax through it. Just snip the end of the coax, or just have raw coax, and then just raw dog your way through the hole, and then just expanding foam it, and you're fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm surprised Mike hasn't said. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm surprised Mike hasn't said that yet.
Yeah.
Comment?
Go ahead, Mike.
You can buy, you can buy those SO239 joiners. Well, you can buy bar stock SO239s up to about nearly 10 inches long.
Right.
So they're basically a hard SO239 joiner, and you just bang whatever size one of those is through the wall. They got a nut on each end, bolt it up, done. You passed it through.
Oh, the threaded, the bolt, yeah, the threaded. Yeah, there's always somebody, like every Hamfest, that has a cinder block with 2 holes drilled through it, and they got those
it's like
threaded
12 inches
leads.
long.
Yeah, and they got those threaded leads going through the cinder block. Yeah, those are absolutely fine.
Yeah, and I've seen them. They're at Hamfests where there's like multiple links. So if you don't have like if you don't need 12 inches, you can buy 4 inches or 3 inches or whatever. You know what's
crazy? So Midnight Rider says no drill in the house. So guys, I want everybody to consider that, like, if you drill a hole in the side of your house, which is protected by the eaves of your roof and everything else going on, and you backfill it with insulating foam, nothing is getting in there. You open your doors in your home throughout the day more times than that opening will ever be an issue. There's no
you backfill
problem.
Your holes?
I always backfill the holes. You always got to backfill your holes. Come on now. Always.
This is me, Josh.
But I mean,
I think it's a 1/2-inch drill bit. I drilled through the mortar in between the bricks.
Yes.
And I've got Hyperflex 10 and Ultraflex 7 Sahara going out. I literally just drilled holes in the mortar.
That's
the mortar is stupid easy to fix. I didn't put any stuff in it. You know, it's literally just a hole in the wall. Rain never gets in. Just what you're saying, Josh. You're 100% right.
But I would add insect repellent, or I would still spray insulating foam or something like that in the hole and just be like boop boop, and you're good, because it'll seal it up. That's the point.
Yeah, Vern 6 warned me on some of that stuff that you spray in the foam, that there are certain insects that will eat that foam.
They make foam that is insect repellent foam.
Right.
You're way overthinking this.
Well, I use steel wool.
That's a great option too, Don. I've used that multiple times, particularly if we're going up into the attic with the coax. I'll use steel wool. Steel wool's great for that.
Yeah,
it helps keep the rodents out for sure.
Well, it'll keep bugs out. The KF7P or whatever. Again, I always get that guy's call sign wrong. But that box at the bottom where you're dropping the coax through, I put steel wool in there where the coax goes through, because I have had dirt daubers come up and start building nests because they can just, like, I don't know how they get through there, but they do. And I have stuffed that area and several others. And then on mine too, because I don't just want coax through it, I also am running 12 volts in and 12 volts in, 12 volts in for the solar panels and 12 volts out for a couple of devices that sit outside, like the antenna switch that I've got out there.
You got options.
Yeah, I've had the same problem. You open up the door to add something, and there's a giant hornet's nest just staring you in the face.
Oh, yeah. Don, I got cable glands.
Dirt dauber is a hornet, for anybody that doesn't know that term. That's a
the glands do work. But it's amazing how tiny a hole those things will actually fit through.
Yeah.
Well, the advantage is the dirt daubers is not a lot of hornets. The paper wasp, to me, those are the bigger problem. But
for sure.
The dirt daubers actually will not sting you. I mean, I've grabbed them by the wings and thrown them out. They don't. They're not.
Don out here being the
They
most
don't sting.
hardcore
Don's
cam
just
ever.
Lucky.
God.
No.
When you electrocute them with a Harbor Freight electric fly swatter, they stick out their stingers quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that I mean.
Mike, are you saying you're a grower or a shower?
Science.
See, I know them as mud daubers.
Yeah, mud daubers.
In the summer,
that's what
in
you
the
said.
summer, they love to plaster their little baby nests all over the front of my house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too. But yeah, yellow jackets are the worst.
Yeah, I hate yellow jackets because there's so many of them. There's always
And they're
so
aggressive.
many of them. They love meat. They're just they're meat crazy. They're just gross. Anyway, all right.
Jackets have memory.
Yes. And they
All
will
right.
chase your ass.
So I think let's go back. I mean, is there anybody else anywhere in the Discord? First time. Let's make the last call on first time, then we'll open it up for everybody. First timers only. If you're the first time here and like to say hi or ask a question, you know how it goes now. Say hi.
Sure, I'll ask something.
Chloe, is it Chloe or Chloe?
The first one, but it could be whatever you want it to be.
Chloe. Got it.
Sure,
Okay.
we'll go with that.
Oh, good. You named yourself. You tell me.
Keyboard mash.
Okay,
anyway,
good.
So I live in a small apartment. I don't have a balcony or anything, but I'm going to be going to a ham radio club meet next Friday. I've never done any of this. My dad used to he was a truck driver, so he used to let me talk on the CB and be the annoying kid in the truck.
Love it.
And so fond memories. So I'm going to go check out a ham radio meet. What happens at those? In your experience, what do they do?
So it really depends on how big it is. So is this just like a city meet, a county, state? How big would you think it is?
County.
All right. So there's probably. I mean, do they have like a website for the meetup?
They do, but it not a whole lot on it. It looks like it's still stuck in like 1998, you know?
Yeah, okay. All right. I'm getting the vibe. I'm getting the vibe that's coming out here. So what's probably going to happen is it's a bunch of older dudes that are hanging out talking about radio. And what's probably the primary draw is a swap meet. And so it'll be a big-ass parking lot with a bunch of trucks and people with tables with a bunch of stuff out on it. And there's high-quality stuff, and then there's low-quality stuff. And then you'll cover the gamut on the whole thing. And these guys will talk to you about anything and anything on that table. Some of them might be a little salty, I assume. There's probably a club. Yeah, somebody already said club. Most of these Hamfests are club associated. They're club related. So there's like a club that's sponsoring it. Yeah, so that club is going to have a lot of people that know each other, and there's going to be just a lot of glad handing and going around and talking about what they're working on and all that stuff. Like, that's kind of the thing that you're going to experience. I assume that there might be a VE, volunteer examiner testing session that's going on or will happen in and around that whole time where people are getting their ham radio license. That's going to be the big draw for a lot of people is just that stuff, from my guess.
Okay. That club, I think they operate a repeater or have a repeater in the same city. Mm-hmm. So maybe that could be an option for me out of the apartment because it's very close. So I could probably hit that repeater without trying too hard. But that's future stuff.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I'd start off listening to the repeater. Just don't even talk. Just listen and see what's going on it.
Yeah, don't suppose you need a license to listen.
Right, exactly. And you get a feel for what does go on when you do get licensed.
And try different repeaters too. Don't just isolate to one because some repeaters are better than others, especially around my area.
I'm pretty lucky, and I think there's like 4 or 5 within like a 15-mile radius or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely listen to all of them.
Yeah, listen to all of them, but also especially listen to the club repeater that you're looking to attend. So, you can, like Josh said, to get a sense of what's going on and who the people are going to be talking to. So you have a pretty good idea. And some of them will make an announcement about what's going on for the meeting that night. So, you'll get some of that.
There you go.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? Last call on first-timers saying hi or asking a question.
Did we mention to the last guy? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, please.
Don't be afraid to just let everybody know you're new.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
You'd be surprised. You'll walk away with 2 radios if you're not careful.
I have.
It's not even that. It's like hams are happy to pay stuff forward, but I found that like when I said I was new, especially just getting on the air talking on the repeaters with a Baofeng UV5R.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are just so friendly and welcoming. Like Josh said, some are salty, but yeah, I would just walk into there, tell people you're new to the hobby, just got licensed, whatever, and want to learn, and people will be overwhelmingly receptive to that.
Yeah. The license, I'm probably not going to be up to take it then. I work in electronics repairs, like the electronic stuff I'm kind of okay with, but when it comes to like FCC rules and regs, no idea.
That's okay. So you're not even licensed. I'm sorry. I was
no, not totally new.
Cat. Oh, that's great, dude.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Even it doesn't matter if you're not licensed. Tell them you're not licensed yet, but dude, you showed the initiative to show up to a ham radio event.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not even licensed? Come on, man. It's over.
Well, hell, he's in this Discord.
You're so screwed now. And I mean that in a good way.
Yeah. I hear what Mike's saying, and I agree 100%. So
I have no problem telling a bunch of old people I don't know what I'm doing. It's, whatever.
There you go. And honestly, to be honest with you, that's like one of the best attitudes to enter into a hobby like this is just like, hey, I'm willing to drink from the fire hose. Like I'm here, I'm humble. I just want to hear what's going on. And the cool part is like if you got the time in your life where you can just be like willing to just go with it, and then you come out of it and you're like, yeah, it's not really like my thing. If you do that enough times, you're gonna find something you really like, and it's going to be You're gonna have a great time. Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
I
love the attitude. Great attitude, by the way.
I work in industrial electronics repair. There's too many old people. I gotta admit, I don't know what I'm doing to all the time. It's just part of the day.
All right. Well, that's. I mean,
Lots of
honestly,
experience bounces around.
He's
Yeah,
already one of us.
Yeah, totally.
You
totally
literally
already
just
one of us.
say that you just said to anybody there at the Hamfest, and you'll be.
He's gonna have people asking him how to fix their electronics and stuff.
My
maybe.
My standoffs have arrived. Here you go, Lars. There it is.
that.
There's the standoffs.
So to that last one, Josh, I will also add this. If they're offering free testing at the event you're going to, just for giggles, take a test. And, even if you haven't studied for it, take a test. See where you stand, and you can easily learn where you have to, what parts you have to study a little more in order to pass the technician test. So don't be afraid to.
Just go on hamstudy.org and just take the practice test and see where the score would be now. You could take it while we're talking.
Yeah, that's true. I was given an alternative, way that if he wanted to do that there, and hey, if he took it there and it just happened that he passed on the first try, that's even better.
I think to add on to what Frank is saying, a lot of the tests, if you're already in electronics to begin with, like 70% of the test is like that electronics-based style and a lot of common sense stuff. So it's not that it's like super difficult for the beginner stuff. Like, yeah, there's some stuff that you said you need to learn, like the frequencies and all that stuff, but a lot of it's really common sense for the tech.
I'm an idiot and I passed it, so yeah, it's easy.
That's also true.
I didn't figure
you are
it'd
going to
be-
try to do that, you're going to 2 forms of ID.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it can't be that bad, I'm sure, with knowing it's next Friday. I have almost a whole week. I might be able to just make it happen.
And if you're Josh, make sure you got your P.O. box set up before you go in.
Please do. Yeah, that's very important. Make sure you do that.
Just wanted to let you know, man. Like, I'm a truck driver, and I legitimately studied for 2 days before I took my tech test and passed it perfectly fine.
That's awesome. I love it.
Good deal. If driver can do it, I can too.
You've already done the hard part.
I used to drive for a little bit too. I'm not throwing shade.
I didn't even study. I just brute forced my way through the test over and over again until I memorized the answers. So I still have no idea what I did.
Okay.
It's legitimately the same thing I did. I brute forced myself through the practice tests.
That's 90% of tech exams.
Yeah.
But I did that with advanced.
That's exactly what I'm doing with extra right now myself.
Yeah.
Extra was easy. Advanced was where it was hard.
The real learning starts after you get your license.
That is
100%.
I didn't learn a damn thing from the test, but once I got the radio, I was like, oh, that doesn't work.
You can definitely learn things from studying for the tech exam.
The rules, for sure. But who pays attention to those?
I mean, look, if you're already in electronics repair, the amount of stuff you can learn from that material is a lot smaller, granted, but you can still learn some things from it.
And also there's the fact that even if you learn some of it, you're going to probably forget because you may not be using it for a while, but then hopefully it'll come back to you later, or you'll remember that you saw that in the test. And it's going to pop into your head, but there's always that. And again, you're going to lose, like Mike said, you're going to still learn stuff even after you pass the test.
Yeah. And I guess there's also the suggestion that look at the general information as well. If you already know the electronics, you already know the hardest parts of the test. Sit for both if you're going to be able to do it for free anyway.
All right. I'm screwing around with FT8 stuff in the background. I realized that I left this hanging last week because it was kind of a mess. And we have good receive, but transmit is a little wonky, so I will have to mess with that while we continue to talk here. Let's open it up wide, the whole chat. Is there any questions from the live stream? That's going to be the first one. or any go backs
I've got a
around on
comment.
anything. Go. Well, okay, Tim, go ahead.
Yeah, Tim, K5DEZ. I'm a first timer. I just wanted to, for as far as the hole in the wall, I have no problem with that. When I built my house, I put a 3-inch PVC pipe through and put a cap on it, just drill a hole when I need it. And now I have the MFJ through the window thing. But when you're drilling a hole, just remember there's electric wires in that wall. Please be careful.
That's a very good point, Tim. That's a good point. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Still open to everybody. If anybody has a thought or comment, go ahead. We'd love to hear it. I saw Dawn already. Well, I saw Dawn first, so then we'll go to John next. Go ahead.
So I'm, operating my 7300 remotely, but when I change bands because I'm on that Delta loop, I need to hit the tune button. What is there available just to hit the tune button? FT8 will do everything else, but even when you hit the tune button on FT8, it does not tune the radio. I need to be able to hit the tune button on the radio. There's got to be a cat command for that.
So what specifically you're trying to do what? So sorry, back me up a little bit here.
Yeah, well, to explain it to you in flex terms, right? When you're sitting there and you see on your window there and you see the tune button and you push it and it tunes the radio, that's exactly what I'm trying to do on remotely on the 7300.
And when you're what application?
So if you go to the 7300, if you go to the 7300 on the band you want to operate on, you click it once to turn tune on, and then you hold it down on that frequency. It should auto-tune it, and then it'll store it into memory. And then if you have the tune setting, like if you go through the settings on the radio, it will have a setting for auto use memory or go back to memory whenever you're transmitting with tune on. It should just auto snap over once you have memory for that antenna in place.
Will it do that with an external tuner?
It should. Do you have a wired connection to that 4-prong connector on the back of the radio?
Yes, it's an LDG I version.
Then yeah,
right?
it should do that automatically. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not seeing that, but because
what are you seeing? What happens?
Well, when I switch bands on FT8, it'll switch the band, but then you start to transmit and it's like the SWR is like through the roof, and if I go and hit the button, it snaps over to where it belongs.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no tuning.
So what I've found that you need, what kind of tuner do you have? External tuner? What is it?
It's an LDG I something or other. Anyway, it's one of the LDGs that specifically is for ICOM, so it includes that cable that plugs into the back.
Have you done the thing where you go to every band with the tuner on and then hold the tune button down on that frequency to load it into memory? You have done that.
It's in memory on the LDG. I know that because when I do hit the tune button on the radio, the LDG will snap over and it's done. And the only time I've had it go through the cycles, if you will, is when when it's never seen that band before.
Now, do you have with the LDGs? I know they have like settings on them where you will you can change the tune or the programming of it where it will use the memory only. It will always like go back and try and get the memory going. Do you have that set up?
The LDG I have has a little button on it for tune. And then 3 lights. That's it. There's no other buttons on it.
Hey Don, can you change the cat command for that?
I think that's what he's asking.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Second base. Sorry.
He's asking if it needs a cat button or something he can program into the chain of the whole thing. It sounds like.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in like FT8 that hitting that tune button doesn't actually hit the tune button on the radio, but it doesn't work that way with any of my radios.
Oh, it works that way with on the Flex for me. I think you mentioned that too. I have the same.
Yeah, I have a Flex. No, I did. Mine does not tune.
Oh, mine does. If I hit tune, I get a single tone on frequency.
Yeah, mine does not do that, and I operate mine remotely. And I have never had it like I have to specifically hit the tune button and hold it to get it to tune. And it doesn't, by the way, mine, my Flex does not seem to remember either when it goes from one band to the other.
Your Flex doesn't?
It'll literally
retune. That seems like a setting that's got to be in that radio to be able to do that.
I don't use the internal tuner on the Flex, but when I was, it did. I know it. I strongly recall that it did.
Yeah, and by the way, one of the things you cannot do on the Flex through profiles is store the tune, at least according to Michael.
Really?
Yeah, he told me that.
Well, the Flex probably isn't, but you're talking about the 7300 and then the LDG.
Right,
the LDG. So is the LDG RF sensing by chance?
No. Well, I don't, honestly, I don't know. It does not seem like if it's out of whack. In other words, the SW is high.
Yeah.
It doesn't automatically switch in and tune. I did have an LGG, that Prol version.
Yeah.
And the problem with the Prol is it would go off in the middle of a transmit, and it's like, oh no.
But it'll take the power, so who cares? Like, it'll take it. The Prol?
But the amplifier, it's not good for the amplifier when it's when you're over 2 to 1.
The Prol will tell you what you need.
Yeah, but you need to have the amplifier not in operate mode. When you go to operate mode, you do not want to be in a tune cycle.
Yeah, Don. I mean, that's kind of the tricky part about external tuners. So yes, there is I think, so if you ask me like what I would expect, by plugging into the ICOM port, like literally the little 4-port plug, I would think that the tuner and the radio would be simpatico. And if you had already gone through the process of doing the hard tune on that frequency, that it would lock in on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you said there was a setting in the radio, and there's very possibly I've never set that setting. So
I know that
there's a setting in there.
I know that I did go in. I went through all the memory settings, and I was making sure that whenever possible, that the tune memory for snapping all the relays over as quickly as possible was always turned on.
I didn't know that was something you turned on. I thought that was just a given. So yeah, I'll go look for that.
PTT start, it's called.
It's called what, Mike?
No wonder
PTT
I'm getting
start.
out so hard.
You can turn that on, and if you're transmitting it's out of tune, it will retune.
On the where in the menus is that?
Hold on.
Menu function tuner.
I just want to point out for a second that my map is so chaotic and so widespread. It's because I've been running the amp this whole time, and I'm running like 400 watts FT8.
Oh God!
Stop!
Now,
oh my God!
When I first got the Mercury, I was making FT8 contacts at 700 watts all the time, and then
we gotta turn the amp off here for a second.
I found out that it's not, that it just simply is not necessary. And one thing that's great about that I've noticed, at least on the 7300, is, man, I can run that thing at 100 watts all day, FT8.
I was just doing 300 watts on the Power Genius, and it was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. I can hear it. I'm like, why am I hearing a very large fan going off right now?
Have you ever tried to
I did.
To,
I was. Oh no, I did hit Africa.
Done diversity receive on it, on the Flex?
No, because I don't have a good diversity receive vertical
yet. It's not really diversity.
Well, it is. It's a form.
It is not diversity reception.
A form of diversity.
It is not diversity as an RF engineer that has designed many systems with diversity receive.
There's phase diversity. True.
It is not. It is a dual receive, and I think Mike, the Canadian fellow who did the diversity reception video for Flex. As much as I like him, I think that is just a completely disingenuous video, because all it is one antenna in one ear and one antenna in the other. And Flex is just trying to tell you that your brain will figure it out. I have absolute news for you. That is not diversity reception.
No,
that sounds painful.
It's what it's meant for, is for fading. It's not meant for.
Correct.
That
is not diversity reception.
Right.
I've had this argue with them in the booth, and their director of engineering completely agreed with me.
Yeah, and I don't doubt you're right, Steve. The problem is that when you talk to a lot of other YouTubers, some of them absolutely refuse to call that anything but diversity.
Yeah, if you look at the SDR play, if you use the SDR play, the Duo, or you look at the Anon, that is true diversity reception, where I can adjust at the baseband input, I can adjust both amplitude and phase to affect a null, or an algebraic sum, or algebraic null. That is diversity reception.
Yeah, and I have used what they have described in the on the Flex and had it work, because I've had vertical and horizontal antennas connected to the two inputs, and you can hear it.
You can hear it. 100%.
But yeah, is it?
But it's your brain playing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not phase diversity, and it doesn't even do what phase diversity does.
You're not summon.
Right.
And if you have a good way of explaining that to people, I'd like to hear it, because I have a hell of a time explaining that. Yeah,
the psychoacoustic effect. That's all it is. It's basically you're running two receivers at the same time.
Yeah, and the Onon's running two receivers, but it's actually mixing them.
Correct. There's some algebraic summing happening there, whether it's constructive or destructive. You can play with amplitude and phase. But there are other modes of diversity reception, but that one is not. That is just not it.
Yeah. Well, the reason I was getting, giving you a little bit of S, if you will, is that because I keep getting it from some people that absolutely argue with me, and it may be that those Flex guys are getting to them too. I've never been convinced that was diversity.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Don,
okay.
I'm a YouTuber and a Flex guy, and I've never said that.
No, it's not you.
The 7610 the 7610 diversity is actually pretty good. If you actually have two different phased antennas, the phasing between the two in both ears is really nice.
Yeah. But as Steve said, that is not diversity.
Okay. All right. Oh geez, he's back.
That's fauversity.
It's fauversity.
I like that.
I created a new word tonight.
Oh, I you know what? I'm writing that down. Thank you. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's the NW9F fauversity.
But something constructive came of this.
Yeah, the MFJ 1026 is supposed to do that too, although I've never had that work.
All right, so we have a troublesome situation right now. I have to run to the restroom, and Edison is here, so I don't know what.
Is Edison taking over?
So it's Pokemon card display time, is what you're saying?
No, well, if you want to talk about Fortnite, this is the person to talk to.
We're talking about popsicles.
So that means my question goes after.
Oh well, you can ask it, and we can try to answer it while Josh is gone.
I'll tell you what, that's a good idea.
I don't think I can actually leave him on a live stream without me here because of YouTube rules. I think I have to actually he's got to come inside with me because I need to go to the restroom really bad. So
yeah.
You just put the lens cap on the camera. We're good.
No, you got to come with me for a
No,
second.
it's not that.
Frank, I'm gonna throw to you. Take some questions.
Boy.
Yeah, sorry,
Oh,
Frank. And then you got to come. You do have to come with me. You do. You have to come with me. Come on, because I'm asking you nicely. I'm asking you nicely. Come on.
All right. Guest host Frank will
come
now
on.
be taking over.
I don't want to. We're not
Laying the hammer down.
testing the YouTube gods here. Come on.
I've seen a
Frank,
couple
go
good
ahead.
questions in the chat, so I'll grab them.
Come on.
Let's see.
Well, remember, there's one on queue here, so.
Okay, there
can take
in Discord there is. So Discord questions. Anyone with questions on Discord?
Yeah,
I do.
And we come back.
The tariffs hit, Frank.
Oh, the too many people there, one at a time.
Yeah. Who was it that Josh was going to next after me?
It was me, but I actually have something that he kind of left out during the stream that I wanted to mention for him to bring up and show people. So like that's kind of obviously not going to be something while he's here. So if anybody actually has a question,
I didn't want to leave you hanging. We can.
No, that's fine
for that. Yeah, go ahead, Frank.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Don. Let's see. There was one here. There we go. Tim, K0WTB. Lost my DX Commander mast today, snapped in the high wind. It's the second mast I've lost like this, and I don't want to lose my spare. Suggestions to prevent this with fiberglass mast.
What in the hell are you doing to your mast?
High wind, apparently. Strap them down
Mike.
tighter.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, are they falling over and breaking, or like what's the deal? What's going on? How is it set up?
Which one?
Which mast is it? Because I've had 2 of mine fail recently, both of the same type, and I hate to say which ones they were.
Oh,
well, let the guy who asked the question answer.
Yeah, that's
well, it's in the YouTube chat, Mike. So we got to wait the 10 or so seconds before he comes back.
All right, we're good.
Just snapped up in the air, 10-meter classic.
Huh. Well, I got nothing for that. Send it back to Callum or let him know, and he'll give you a replacement at cost. I think he does.
Was it guide?
Something like that.
So Tim, was it guide? I see Josh back.
I'm back.
We're working on Tim K0WTB's question about his DX Commander mast snapping.
Oh, did you contact Callum? I'm assuming everybody said that already.
Well,
yes.
Didn't he say that he's had 2 of them do it, or?
Yeah, he did say 2, and I have never had an issue, but and we're on the East Coast where we get hurricane winds, but we don't get like tornadoes or anything like that because obviously he's in zero land. But I would say what most of the people said in the chat is just try and guy it instead of letting it free float.
100%.
He said it's guide, but only guys low. So yeah, I would guy it higher as well, especially with those with strong winds like that, and reach out to Callum over at DX Commander, see what you can do there, and then yeah.
I'm sorry. I have seen Callum on some of his. He will guy low and high, and so you may have to go ahead and guy high too.
I mean, his rings can guy high too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess did you ask Tim what segment of the antenna is actually snapping? Is it the very tippity top, or like where is it snapping? Did we get that clarification?
Not yet.
Okay.
He said it snapped up in the air. He hasn't said exactly which section.
Yeah, so
I'm assuming since he said up in the air, he means the tip.
So the segments are important. If you're talking about the very tippity top segment, it doesn't matter where you guy it. If it's snapping at the very top, then the question is like, what kind of load are you putting on the tippity top? Most of the time, it snaps up high. So like, are you running an 80-meter L off the top of the tippity top? That's probably what's doing it. Is that you probably have
the third segment is what he said.
The third segment. So is that because you're running an inverted L and there's no movement on that element at all? So if I were to do an L, like if we had an inverted L DX Commander situation, I'd probably run that to like a pulley with a weight, like an appropriately balanced weight that would move with the wind, move with the mast, versus if you just have that tied off and the wind blows it the wrong direction, you're pulling against the inverted L.
Yeah, okay, you just got it.
It just folds
at the
top.
top.
Okay, so it's a 40
yeah.
meter. It's a 40 meter. I have no idea why the tip would snap in free space.
Well, didn't he say 3 sections down from the
that
tip,
doesn't
though?
make any sense. You got to contact Callum. We cannot help
unless
you.
the guy
We cannot
tension's
help you.
too high as well. But yeah, that's a Callum question.
Well,
I think.
so the only thing that would put tension there,
yeah, I don't,
would be the 40-meter wire that goes straight up, and then you fold it back down, and then you got the little rubber hose that fits over it to hold everything in. So between the tip of the antenna, or the mast rather, where the 40-meter element folds back in, to that rubber tubing, the hose tubing that goes over everything, there's got to be tension there. Or when it blows, there's tension in one direction, that just the way the force is in physics and stuff. I don't know. That's an odd spot for that to break.
Do you happen to have a
Very
picture of how it's blowing in the wind, so we can see if it's loading up like a fishing pole while it's getting blown down? Because obviously there's shatter points when it's folding over like that as well. But you know, the fold over at the third point and break is
wait.
unusual.
Hold on. I don't want to go any further on this. Contact Callum. We're not gonna workshop the problem. I don't understand this. It doesn't make sense. It's not our job to figure out what's going on there. Like, you should contact Callum. What you're saying doesn't make any sense to what I expect. So I don't think we can fix it. So you should contact Callum. Like, he is the engineer behind his antenna system.
It's his product.
You should contact him. We're not gonna go into the deep on this one.
I agree with that. And then John KC3KXR had something for you, Josh, before for when
just
you came
ask
back.
it. Just ask it. Go ahead.
Yeah, when you were doing the live stream, you put up like the Nano VNA and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things I think you didn't give an honorable mention to that you've mentioned on the stream before is the HRO adapter pack thing that a lot of people have for, you know, connecting all the different things together.
Oh, coax adapter. So, by the way, I was not trying to retread ground that I have already tread. Right? That's part of the problem with these videos, is that I've already talked about so much stuff. So yeah, the coax adapter kit, that is definitely on the high mark for an amazing thing that you can have, that you won't regret having. Totally, no question. But I was not trying to just re-say all the things I've said before. Like, some of those items were brand new that have never been, well, not even some, a lot of them were brand new that have never been mentioned before.
Are we open to questions or no?
I think so, yeah. I think it's fully open.
I did have a question, Mast related, but not telescoping. I want to set up a mast on the outside of my apartment. I right now have for lack of a better term, a fixture that's bolted into the side of the building that is supporting a vertical antenna for my dual band base station, 2 meter, 70 centimeter. But I want to get the antenna higher up, and I can't necessarily move the fixture that I have the antenna mounted to. It's like this 45-degree reinforced steel pipe that has a bend in it that comes out from the wall and up. It's hard to explain. But I wanted to put a indeterminate length mast U-bolted to it, and then the antenna on that. One, I don't know if that's a good idea, but two, I'm not sure if I have to buy a specific mast, or can I just go get a piece of, you know, aluminum tubing and just throw it up there and U-bolt it? Like, what would you guys recommend for that?
Well, so there's this thing called a standoff, Lars, that you can put on that first.
Well, no, I need more than a standoff. I need to go higher.
Lars, aren't you the one that was
telling me to do stuff to my dad and things?
Yes.
So Lars knows me before all of you were born. Mommy was pregnant.
Save me from falling off this chair.
Well, this kid.
Hi.
This kid, Mommy was pregnant with him when we were playing League of Legends. That's the same person. That's Lars.
Yeah.
So, can you just mount it somewhere else? Like, does it have to be all up in this whole thing, or do you must do it there?
I must do it there because I don't have access to the roof. The landlord will not let me mount anything to the roof. And It's the only place I have easy access to, right outside my kitchen window. Basically, I have a, like I said, this 45-degree, for lack of a better term, fixture mounted to the outside of the outside wall, and it's jutted out about 3 feet, and then up a slight bit. That's what I have the antenna mounted to. But I wanted to get it higher up without actually physically moving the fixture higher. I figured if I could U-bolt a mast to that with the antenna at the top of the mast. I don't know if that's a good idea. So that's why I wanted you guys' opinion on that.
I do not.
What is the downspout made of, or that material? What is it made of? Is it sturdy?
Steel. Oh yeah. It could support my weight.
What about one of those Roan masts?
Yeah. So oddly enough, Lars, when I mentioned that standoff kit, the standoff kit is it's a 2 U-bolt system, right? So it's 2 U-bolts on both sides, and you could just buy like 3 sets of those or a couple of sets and just stack them all the way up to another mast. The Roan mast at 50 feet is a killer mast.
Well, that's what I was asking. Is like if I was to take a mast and U-bolt it to the, because right now my antenna is U-bolted to this fixture. And instead of U-bolting the antenna to it, I could U-bolt a mast to it, but I wasn't sure what to use as a mast on it. That's my question.
The Roan 50 is a sweet mast. The problem is to get one that you basically have to pick it up. Like I drove out to a spot to pick it up. It's inexpensive to buy. The problem is that most people have to have it shipped to them, and shipping the freight is horrible. It's not good. Have you seen the Roan 50? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I haven't the foggiest idea.
Okay.
You're talking about bolting Roan 50 to the side of the house? I think that's what.
No. It's even worse than that, Steve. We're talking about bolting the Roan 50 to a downspout using a standoff arms, because that's the only thing he can touch. It's the only thing he can touch in the building. That's the only thing he can touch and add to.
Yeah, that's not going to pass inspection. But
no, this is not certified. You want to say something? Okay, go ahead.
I don't like Douglas the amateur radio anymore. I don't like him.
There are some very good freestanding aluminum crank ups.
Oh no, that means they're growing. That means you're growing fast. It's not making fun of you.
I'm struggling to remember the name of the antenna of the mast that I saw at Dayton last year or the year before. Yeah, last year, and it was very inexpensive. I think it was like $3,500, and it was a 45-foot. Very stout, very beefy crank-up aluminum mast that had a tremendous wind load rating with radial ice. I'm struggling with Google to try and find the company right now, but as soon as I find it, I'll post it in the chat.
Well, just for clarification, what I have right now is bolted into the side of the building, into the structure of the building. So it's not like I'm bolted into like the vinyl siding or anything like that. I mean, it's into the wood of the structure. So I'm with like 5-inch long bolts. I mean, these things are, it's not coming off. I wanted to extend that upwards from there by another, say, 4 or 5 feet. I don't want to go crazy high. I'm looking at like maybe another 5 feet up.
What if you wanted to go 50 feet up though?
Yeah.
If you wanted to go 50 feet up, though, then the Roan telescoping mast 50 is the way to go.
Yeah.
And to throw it with a I don't know if that'll. I think that might be a little overkill.
But there are guy plates. There's 3 guy plates on that, so you can guy out every segment as you push it up. And so it'll be.
If you saw where this thing would go, it'd be guying into my neighbor's house, which actually I don't like them anyway, so I wouldn't have a problem with that.
There you go. You just don't want it to fall into your neighbors. You guy it so it doesn't fall into them. It's okay if it bends a little bit.
Oh, you know what, Josh? Offline, I will send you a picture of what I got, and then you know what, we can discuss it later.
Russia.
Yeah, so the kids now are playing the Fortnites. They've been playing the Fortnites, and they introduced Sub-Zero. Jeez, it's not that close. They introduced Sub-Zero and Scorpion into Fortnite, and I was talking to my kids. I'm like, oh, so they gave you the Get Over Here, and they're like, oh, you know about Mortal Kombat?
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, yes,
Oh no,
children. I grew up with Mortal Kombat, and they're like, oh, what was that like? And I'm like, well, I knew all the moves for Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and
50 cents a game.
yeah, not even that. I remember it was a quarter.
Sounds like it's time to download an emulator and teach them the hard way.
Oh,
Josh.
they don't. They can't even play me on games. Like they can't. Toasty.
Yeah.
Wait,
that's
is
an
it in?
That's an emote. That's
Is
an
it
emote.
Toasty?
Yeah.
Oh, Toasty's
it's
the
like
thing.
Scorpion makes like a ball, and then there's a bread, and then he
Is there like a head that comes out of the side that goes Toasty?
No.
Oh,
It's
okay,
just like
that's-
a dragon. It just makes a dragon in the bread.
No.
Yeah.
So
Josh, that's
none of
when
my
you sit
children can
there.
handle me in.
No, there's something.
That's when you sit there and go, do not recite the old magic to me. I was there when it was created.
So Smash Brothers has changed a lot since I was younger, and they are much better at Smash Brothers now than I was. But they can't touch me on Mario Kart. They will.
No way, no.
You
It's all
cannot touch
fun
me.
and games
You can't.
until you get hit with the blue shell in Mario Kart.
You cannot touch
all you
me in
gotta
Mario
do is lean
Kart.
forward in your seat.
Yeah, you cannot touch me. There's no way.
I'm just waiting for the day my daughter's old enough to play Mario Kart just so I can whoop her butt.
Dude, come on now. Be honest.
Okay, Daddy, I can.
You think you can beat me in Mario Kart?
I can't beat you, but I
Okay,
can touch
all
you,
right.
but I can bump you.
Well, sure.
Let's do it right now. Plug in the switch.
Dude.
Let's see it.
Yeah,
Johnson,
please
put
with
him
the
on your
questions.
mouth,
Ham
yes.
radio questions. Go ahead. I'm losing my mind.
I have one.
Go ahead, Zero.
All right, so I remember we had that talk a bit ago about the mobile as a base, but now I'm having a completely separate issue.
Okay.
So I got the Signal Stuff Mag Mount BNC, and now I'm having spotty reception.
Okay.
I have semi-successfully re-terminated the BNC on the mag mount on the radio on the HT side, much to Levi and Steve's dismay. Because I couldn't salvage the pin, so now I'm using the center line from the coax as the center pin.
What do you mean you couldn't salvage the pin? What does that mean?
The copper broke off inside the end of the pin, and when I tried melting it, it melted the back of the pin.
What do you mean you tried to melt the copper? You're that hot? What are we talking about right now?
The copper snapped off inside the back of the little pin, and I don't have the right tools, so I got creative with propane, and that did not work.
Okay. All right.
So now I'm having spotty reception. I have figured out that one of my Baofeng HTs is dead.
Okay.
And now I just straight up have spotty reception. I've tested it on different radios. I'm pretty sure it's just either the actual antenna mount on the magnet itself or the other side where it connects to the radio. How would you say is the best way to test that or go about either getting a replacement or just look elsewhere?
You're
I think you
talking
gotta
about
cut off that BNC and re-terminate it. You don't know how you've migrated that center conductor with the amount of heat that you've applied.
You're
So,
talking about a Baofeng radio, a $17
Yeah.
Baofeng, or what Baofeng are we talking about?
One of my K5, so the reskin of the 5RM, one of those died. I figured out that was the solder for the SMA connector, and then when I went to try to put that back together, I severed the speaker connector. So now that one doesn't have output on the radio.
Okay, let me just say this. I'm going to say this right up front. In my entirety of ham radio, whatever, I've never snapped the connector off a handheld. I'm not to say it's not a common thing. I'm not saying that. But what are you trying to do? Like, what is the point of all of this? Like, was this just damage that you're trying to fix, or was this like a project you're working on? Because maybe I missed it.
The defunct K5 is completely separate. I just thought that would be funny to add.
Okay.
But the main issue is just I don't know why I'm getting spotty reception, and I'm wondering if either I should try to repair it, try to get a replacement, or look at a different company altogether.
But you've applied like significant heat since the issue, right? Since the spotty.
That was just the center pin itself. That was separate from the connector and the coax. That was just the pin.
You've applied significant heat since then, right?
Not to what is currently installed on it.
How do you know you haven't applied significant heat to the body of the radio?
The radio wasn't even near it when I applied heat.
But I thought the connection was broken.
Yes, I got these cheap Amazon SMA to BNC adapters, and they coated them, and that turned out to create a very tight fit. And like a room temp IQ, I pulled the cable instead of the connector, and that completely pulled the BNC, like it pulled the coax away from the BNC. Okay. So I physically had three components. I had the coax, the outer BNC, and then the center pin. Mm-hmm. The center pin was completely separate from the rest of it. It wasn't attached to the coax or the connector anymore, and that's what I applied heat to, completely separate from anything else.
So why are we doing all this? Why not just get another adapter since you realize where the failure was?
I currently have $2 in my account, and I am not going to be getting another paycheck Tuesday.
I don't know that you can fix what you've done here with the adapter. Is the spotty connection? Are you still using the adapter that you tried to fix?
Yes.
Okay. Can you just go back to the stock antenna and determine if the radio still works?
Yes, and I'm also kind of.
No, wait. That was my first question. Hold on. That was my first question. Can you go back to the stock antenna and determine that the radio still works?
Kind of.
No. Okay. Well, let's go further.
Isn't
kind
the
of. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I want to get to the bottom of this.
That he damaged the connector on.
I want to go to the bottom of this. So, do you have a stock antenna that you can verify that radio still works?
I have a stock antenna.
Okay. Can you just use that and verify the radio still works? No. Are you gonna go? Okay. Hold on. Sorry. I'll come back. Zero. Hold on. Zero. Let me come back. Edison wants to say something. You gotta go.
When I played Fortnite, I was battling Scorpion, and it showed like a guy that said Toasty, and it's like in the corner of my screen.
Toasty. All right.
Yeah, it's like a guy.
Okay, go inside. Everybody go inside.
Bye.
Bye. I'll wrap up in a little bit. 73. Oh yeah, we got the 73s.
Nice.
Are you coming in here?
Yep.
Okay. All right, he's coming in. Okay, Zero. You have a stock antenna that you can verify that the radio still works. Yes?
I will answer this like you. It depends.
I don't. No. What do you mean? What happened to the stock antenna?
I have a stock antenna. I believe part of my issue is just straight up reception in my room, but I haven't had that issue
outside
before.
Go outside.
My testing methodology is I am listening to NOAA because that is constantly transmitting.
And you hear them?
Yes, with a different radio, I hear them at any point, but doesn't matter what I throw on here. Sometimes it just does not reach.
Do you ever talk to people and they're like, I don't feel like I'm getting the answers I'm asking from Zero? Do they ever?
That happens when I talk to myself, so don't feel bad.
Okay, so I feel like you've created a situation where you've taken things that we would remove as variables from a scientific experiment kind of thing, and you've messed with them and made them variables again, which they did not need to be variables, right? That's what it feels like a little bit. So you have, I hate that I'm even asking this question. What radio do you have that gets NOAA good in the room?
Stock UV5R.
Okay. And that is on what antenna?
A cheap 2-pack BNC antenna. Where is it?
Take that antenna and put it on the radio that we're talking about and try it.
With or without the mag mount?
I didn't even talk about mag mounts. Whatever you're doing, plug that into the radio we're talking about and test it.
Okay.
Do you see where I'm going with this? If the radio is the receiving thing and you have a thing that works antenna-wise, then just take that over to the other thing and try it.
Okay, this antenna is constant receive on NOAA. I'm going to slap it on the mag mount and see what happens.
No, I'm saying whatever radio you just told me gets NOAA, and that is your bailiwick, that is your baseline for receiving, then just duplicate that on the radio we've been talking about.
That's exactly what I did. That is now no mag mount, that BNC antenna.
I don't even know where the mag mount gets involved in this. You don't even have to mention that.
What
just
I thought
whatever.
I broke. Yeah, that's what I had broken.
I don't know. I know what he's saying, Josh. I think I got it.
Okay, I'm ready, Lars.
He's got two radios. One of them's dead. The other one works.
Mm-hmm.
The dead radio isn't even the thing here.
All right. So he's got one working radio.
The dead radio is not even the thing, he says.
No, he's I know. Hold on. He's got one working radio.
Okay.
He's trying to get a mag mount to work with the one working radio he has.
Okay.
The mag mount, when he connects it to the radio, is not getting good reception.
Okay.
So when he puts the antenna on the mag mount, which is connected somehow to the working radio, he's not getting good reception. When he puts the BNC antenna on the radio directly, he gets good reception. So the question is not the radio, the question is the mag mount.
Affirmative.
There, I'm done.
Okay.
Checks in the mail.
Jesus. I was messing around with my mag mount. I put it on that cheap BNC connector.
Why did we go down the road of like all the soldering jobs on the connector and all that other stuff if we're talking about a mag mount? How does all of that
That's where the
play into
problem
this?
started, and that was the side quest that I had figured out.
But why did we start with that? Like, why am I brought into? I'm sorry, Zero. I have to. We're gonna have to step away from this because I feel like we're on a never-ending quest. Like, where are we going, dude? Where's good for you? Like, where is good?
Do I need to contribute to your Tylenol fund?
No, I think that you almost get enjoyment out of confusing people. Like, where are we going with this? Like, what do you want? Like, what do you want me to say?
All I'm asking here is, do I try to fix my mag mount, because that's what I fully broke? Try to get a replacement, or do I try to find one at a different a different brand?
Replace the mag mount. Simple answer.
But let me ask before I'm even ready to answer that. Did the mag mount work for you?
It did, and then I don't. Well, the other part of that is I'm using the
No.
stick
This
on
is
the
just a
top of
yes or no. This is just a yes or no. I don't want to add to more confusion. Did the mag mount work at some point?
Yeah, it worked perfectly when it was on my vehicle. Now it is in my room.
Okay. So then, yeah, go fix the go replace the mag mount. Like, that's it. Good.
I am sorry for causing you a headache.
No, I'm not. I don't have a headache. I just feel like we're spending way too much time, like, going into the weeds on something that I don't know what the end result is. Like, you did some work on your own, which, by the way, like, I broke a lot of stuff when I was a young ham, and I still break stuff all the time. I just don't necessarily go like drag everybody through it. I just go replace it or fix it or do whatever. So I guess I'm missing, like, I don't know. I just don't even know what the goal is of this question anymore. Can somebody help me out? Like, Lars, you already helped me out earlier. Like, where are we going with this?
Can I take a stab at this?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where we're going.
All right. My suggestion is you tried doing something to your mag mount and you screwed it up.
Yes.
Spending more time trying to fix it. Hey, Godspeed, give it a shot. Me personally, I would go on Amazon, find a cheap mag mount that takes the same connector for the signal stick that you have, which is I'm assuming you have the BNC one, whichever one whatever it is. Find a mag mount that has the same connector that you're using for your antenna that connects to your radio. Save your pennies and get that. In the meantime, try to fix what you got, but your mileage may vary. Give it a shot, but don't use propane. Bad idea.
Yeah, wait, no. Yeah, propane, no.
Hang on. This is exactly how ham radio starts.
Exactly.
Buy guy's base of antenna. Doesn't work. Tries everything. Buys new base antenna. So now he's got something that works. But because we don't throw things out as hams,
right?
This guy still has this other mag mount that doesn't work.
You should throw it
now he has no.
Okay.
Now he has hams don't throw things out. He has another mag mount that he can just tinker with. Like he knows it doesn't work.
Okay.
But
I see where you're going. I see where you're going.
Let's use this experience to learn why it doesn't work.
Yes. Okay. I'm with you.
Apart.
Yes.
Figure
okay.
It out.
I like it.
100%. There's a wire that's doing something it shouldn't be doing.
Yes.
And
I mean, we're talking about like two wires.
Solder.
At the end of the day, this is two wires, right?
But this is how ham radio starts. I don't want to go deep into this. He's already here. I don't want to scare him off.
Yeah.
You got a thing that doesn't work.
Well, I mean, he's been on the Discord for a little while. We've been talking.
New thing.
Yeah.
I know. I've been sitting here listening. Just
Zero, please. Zero.
I understand. He said he's got like $2 in his bank account.
Zero.
Yeah.
Everything we just said. Does that make sense? Are we good?
Hams are all about fixing stuff.
The only problem is that the thing that is broken is the only one I have, and I wanted to try to fix it.
Yeah, we are all with you, and we understand. We empathize with you.
We have all been there.
You are in the right place, my friend.
So I would
empathize with you. We empathize with you.
Go. So I have multiple times been in the situation where I thought I was doing something better and I screwed something up and I had to go back to what works. So go back to what works. Go back to the stock antenna or whatever until you can get back on your feet with another mag mount or something like that. And I think that's kind of where you're at right now. And then yes, I'm with Mike. Now you got a little platform that you can play around with all kinds of stuff.
Right now. I also wanted to get your reaction on just the
reaction.
Just foregoing the center pin and using the center line of the coax as the pin in the BNC.
Well, I still don't know what that means. Actually, I take that back. Can you take a picture? Can you take a picture of it and post it in the live stream chat? I don't want to do any more.
Have a picture.
I don't. Okay, we have a picture. Okay, I don't want to talk about it anymore because we spent so much time. It's not in the live stream chat. Somebody drop it. How far back do I have to go?
I'm about to put it in there.
I just at this point, it's all pictures from this point, like because I can't visualize any of this.
So the one on the left is what would be factory, and
bad.
the one on the right is mine.
That's not bad. So what's the problem?
Though the problem is that the diameter of the center conductor is not the same diameter as the female side.
Oh,
so
because he made his own
for a bit. Well, no.
Oh,
it's
stranded. It's stranded.
Stranded. Correct. So it'll work sometimes.
And that's the issue.
I've been there. I've been there in the field.
For
effort.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually not that bad. It's pretty clean. Okay, so wait, hold on. You want to see how we can mess this up even more? Can you take the center pin out of that connector still? Is it still possible to do that?
From the one on the right?
Yeah, that's the one that's screwed up, right?
Yeah,
that has no center pin.
That is no center pin. That is straight from the coax.
That's the coax coming straight out.
That's the center conductor. That's the stranded wire from the coax.
It maybe will mate with the female side. It looks a little short, but it's...
Oh, it's a little short. It is short.
The bayonet is missing.
It might work.
Josh, the bayonet is missing.
Well,
yeah,
the bayonet's not missing.
No, the bayonet's
it's not.
It's
all there.
Pin,
it's short. It's short.
If he's one step back, if he would have soldered on the center pin for the BNC onto the stranded wire in the center of that right silver one,
I see.
He'd have had a great BNC connection.
All right.
He missed a step. But don't forget, you need to force that BNC pin in there.
Let me ask a question.
It seats in there properly.
Is the right side, is that the bayonet connector and all that stuff, is that locked in? Like, can you not replace that? Could you unconnect it, disconnect it in some way?
Oh yeah, I can cut the wire and redo it.
No, I'm not talking. Wait. I mean, like, what's there?
I mean,
Like,
is it a crimp or is it a compressor for the
I'll bet it's
take
crimped.
off?
wait, so you're fine with just wait, stop. Okay, now I'm getting angry. So why can't you just re-terminate this and do it right?
That's what I said.
I don't have the tool or the connector.
Well, how'd you do it this time?
When I pulled the cable, the connector came out of the crimp, so I reopened the crimp and reused that.
What size coaxial cable is this on?
I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay.
I don't want to do this anymore. Go get
a great science experiment.
Place.
Okay, wait. I take this back. Now I'm back in. Do you have a ham club that you got a guy that has a crimper?
No, I've got my grandfather's garage.
What do you mean
and I don't
no?
have a
What do you mean no? There's no ham club in your area that a guy has a crimper.
Not for like 20 miles.
Can I just buy this guy a mag mount?
Thank you.
I'd be open to it.
No, that's exactly what he wants. Is somebody to send him something. This is crazy. Like
even if somebody sends me a used crimper, I'll be happy.
Okay, we got to get off of this. This is no, dude. No.
I actually have the.
No, I'm not asking for anything other than.
It sounds like you are. I don't want to do this anymore.
No, I'm genuinely not. I'm just looking for advice.
Yeah, the advice is get a proper termination and crimp it. Like you have the coax, everything's good. Re-terminate it correctly. That's like, what is this? $3, $5 for the proper termination?
Wait for the next paycheck.
You could
Plus
probably
shipping.
What do you mean free shipping? Where do you live?
Southeast Michigan.
Is there not a ham radio store in Michigan? Is there no HRO?
No.
I'm seeing.
I bet there's a CB store somewhere.
No, there isn't. Where in Southeast Michigan are you?
Metro Detroit area.
What county?
Oakland.
Okay.
There's no ham club that can help you out with this.
Oh, there's
in
all kinds
Detroit.
of ham clubs. If he's in Oakland County, that's where I'm from.
Come on, dude. Come on, man.
Dude. I'm from Farmington. I know exactly where you are, dude.
Just slow the roll. Slow the roll a little
I was
bit.
on the Clarkston repeater.
I'm over in Waterford. I haven't seen anything within.
There's
walking
no
distance.
excuses at this point.
in
There's no
Waterford,
excuses. There's no excuses right now.
Clarkston
There's no
repeater.
excuses.
If you're in Waterford, I swear to God, dude, I was in West Bloomfield. I worked in Pontiac at what the hell is right on Telegraph.
Here we go. We got the mic on here.
I know, dude. I know exactly where this.
Yeah,
is.
he's got you dialed in, man. He knows where you live.
Father's house. Fix this connector.
I'm
As
telling
long
you,
as he doesn't.
If you're in Waterford, Michigan, and I say Clarkston repeater, you're gonna know what that means. And if I'm in anywhere, like that's the repeater. But dude, Novi, Northville, what was it? N8, South Lyon. I was a member of the South Lyon amateur radio group. Great club. If you're in Oakland County, that might be a hike from you, depending on where you. It is going to be a hike from you, but
yeah,
there's no shortage. I'm sorry.
That was the main issue. Is my truck can't go far.
Okay, all right. That's it. We're wrapping it up.
I'll talk to you one-on-one
dude,
about that.
Dude, you can contact the local repeater and see if somebody will help you out. You've got excuses for why you can't make this work. Like literally, it's a connector and find a guy with a crimper. We gotta move off of this. I don't want to do it anymore. I hate it when people have excuses for everything to make something work. I just can't. I can't do it. Thank you, Zero. I don't want to discourage you, but like please consider not having excuses why something will work. Like that takes people completely out of every situation to help you. Is if everything is I can't. Like it just won't work. So I gotta move on. All right. We're going over to Frank. Has maintained the list of YouTubers we're gonna say hi to. Okay. We're starting at the bottom. Dane, the portable ham. How's it going?
What's going down, everybody? Well, this week has been completely insane in the truck. Been broke down for like 17 hours. So that's literally all I'm doing this week, and I'm finally making it back to Chicago.
Right on, right on. My kid doesn't understand what I'm asking him. Keep going, keep going.
Oh, but other than that, having some delays with the video I've been trying to post because I made a mistake. Let my buddy borrow a radio, and now trying to get it back from him has been difficult. So I'm trying to post a gear dump video on what I use for portable, and it's just not working out because my buddy is being very difficult about getting my KX2 back. So it's entertaining. I don't know.
My son has found the secret Baja Blast in my fridge that
I'm the Hufflepuff in the family.
Yeah, he's done something that I didn't want him to have that, but here we go. Well, thank you for joining us. Well, yeah, I tell you what, I'm not going to take it from you. This is one of my favorite beverages of all time, particularly the Taco Bell version. Oh my God, it's not focusing. Baja Blast is my favorite, one of my favorite sodas of all time, no question. Next is probably Dr. Pepper, but there you go. He has taken it. He's now going to be completely strapped with caffeine.
Yeah.
So mommy's going to be mad.
Yeah, don't tell your mom. Whatever you do,
do not tell mom. If you will never be able to hang out in the after chat again. We'll cut you off.
Do not live stream the evidence.
Do not live stream the evidence at all. She's not watching. There's no way she's watching right now.
Well, she's totally watching live.
At least it's not your beer, Josh.
He just knows.
Baja Blast at Taco Bell, Dr. Pepper at Burger King. Literally, I don't know how that works mathematically, but it is 100% accurate. That is 100% accurate.
Verner's is so.
Are we gonna have like a AA for caffeine meeting?
Dude, I don't know, but Baja Blast is where it's at, and then Dr. Pepper. So okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Matt KA2AUB's World is next. Go ahead. Sorry, and I got to catch up on the websites here. Are you here, Matt? Where you at, bud?
He dropped already. He just
you son of a bitch. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
That's okay. The list just goes faster.
All right, so let's go to who's next. Who is next on the list? Is
your buddy Mark.
Mark Soda Plus. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, Josh. We've had a lot going on. Do we have Aura in the chat, by the way?
I don't think Aura's here.
Don't worry. I texted him. I'm going to make that my third item. So
I worked Aura yesterday. It was wonderful.
Working Aura is wonderful. It's a calming experience. So, okay. First thing we did, QMX on 10 gigahertz. I tried to live stream it. I'll be honest, the live stream was a bit janky, but we did in fact get the QMX with single sideband running on a 10 gigahertz transverter. We did, and we did.
That's amazing.
And we did a summit contact with it. And not only that, we took up a new ham, and so her first ever soda contact was on 10 gigahertz with a QMX, which was awesome.
That's stupid. So congratulations.
It was absolutely ridiculous. So that's like 15 minutes into the live stream, but I was very happy that it worked. Doubly happy because we didn't have a microphone, and so we just yelled into the noise cancellation mic.
Okay.
Which shouldn't have worked, but somehow did.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. Is 10 gigahertz popular where you are? And it used to be very popular here, but that popularity is like gone. That was like a late 80s, early 90s thing. But is that big where you out in your neck of the woods?
Yeah, so we have the SBMS, San Bernardino Microwave Society. So there's a whole bunch of 10 gigahertz guys around Los Angeles. And in our club, we've been building up a competency to do this. And so we've started to have a whole bunch of custom designed soda portable 10 gigahertz systems. And that has completely changed how popular it is. People are going out on the weekends and hitting each other up on 10 gigahertz.
Yeah, back in the day, I remember back in the day we used to take apart the it was Stanley or Singer made the door closers, and we used to modify those, the motion detectors. We used to modify those for 10 gigahertz operation with a dish.
Well, these days, if you have some extra coin floating around, you can get the Cooney transverters, which take 28 megahertz on the inside. And that means you can use a KX2, a QMX. You can use any 10-meter radio to drive those things. And then that gets you Morse code, sideband, the whole shebang.
Well, Mark, let me ask you, because we're talking about the QMX. So would you recommend that for somebody that wanted to do just like HF, portable SOTA operation? Or where are you at right now?
Well, okay, so that brings me to my second item. I actually just took 2 new hams out today for their first ever SOTA activation. We did a 12-mile hike with 3,200 vertical feet because
Was that Lukens? Lukens is a 12-mile?
Is if you take a wrong turn.
Oh, okay. I was like, Lukens is not 12 miles. Okay.
No, it is 10 miles though.
Okay, out and back. Okay.
Yeah, we do the big loop.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you do that, it's 10 miles. And we got distracted talking about one of the astronomical observatories for black holes and ended up in the wrong canyon. But
okay.
Hey, the Event Horizon Telescope is a phenomenal piece of work. But looping back to the QMX, the ham I was with had just gotten her general. She only has a Baofeng, and she was wondering what should her very first HF radio be. And I said, it's a no-brainer. Absolutely get the QMX because she loves to solder. And so I said, look,
that's cool.
If you love to solder, you only know sideband, but you're interested in doing Morse code, and she's a coder. So she would have access to that USB-C port for data modes. I was like, there is nothing else like the QMX, certainly not at the price point. It is a phenomenal radio. I have one. I love one. I beat the heck out of it on peaks.
Okay, so
Plus
strong
it works with a
recommendation.
K6 ARK mini mic.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sure, I guess you can modify it to make it work. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it has the same wiring as the True SDX.
Oh, okay. Oh, then I have that mic ready to go. I have that mic ready to go. Excellent.
Yeah, so drop that Beta 3 firmware on there, and you got yourself a single sideband ready.
I'm planning on building mine next week. I'm hoping that I'm going to have some time to build it because I literally have an original kit from Hamvention when he dropped the first one. So I want to modify it to do the 10 meter to 40 band mod, but I don't know if that's
the N6 MTB mod,
the one that Adam has, which is the best mod that you can do on that radio. But
absolutely,
yeah.
I
don't know. I don't know how we go with this. I don't know yet.
Yeah, just note that on the very first, I forget if it was 2 or 3 iterations of the board, the PPT line is actually not connected correctly. And you need to do one patch to avoid having a spike on one of the voltage lines blow the whole thing. So there's 2 patches you'll need to do on your specific board.
Oh, well, fantastic. Okay.
Don't worry. Great. It's only surface mount.
Oh, it's only surface mount. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, real quick. Do you happen to have a video on that 10 gig setup, or are you going to be posting?
I do. It's a very janky live stream. But I can drop it into the chat.
Okay, because CE is asking in the live stream chat. So,
yeah, so there's a link to it. Again, it's janky, but it did work, and we had Bluey out too. And then, of course, the final thing that we launched was for April Fools. We put out the SOTA phone, and I wish Ara were on the stream. That's really
yeah, dude, that was killer. That was such a good. That was such a good video. Great job on that. That was awesome.
The phone was hilarious.
The part that I liked about it is it's Ara, which means it's real. We actually did legitimately do an entire activation using that phone.
The CW part?
Yeah.
No. Really?
Yeah, that's not visual effects. That's why W7H was doing that crazy straight keying.
Okay, this is okay. You have to. you got to add something to the end of a video to explain to people, like, no, this is real. Like, I didn't believe that. I thought this was fooling around.
Oh no, we actually filmed some of it. We have footage where we took the whole thing apart, and I've got footage somewhere where Ara's rewiring it.
That dropped on April Fool's Day, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can see why people would not think it was real.
No, it was supposed to be an April Fool's joke, but what he's saying is it was 100% real, which I did not know that.
Like the antenna we were using
in an Ara phone. I was going to say that.
And it really is 46 pounds, and carrying that to the summit was quite the project.
But it was a full CW transmitter, and all his little like key presses and stuff on the hang-up thing was real, is what you're telling me?
The transmitter was behind the phone. But the key presses, 100%. The phone itself is actually the straight key, and the antenna you see coming out of it is actually the antenna that we were using. It was physically bolted to the phone.
Did you make contacts with that thing?
Oh yeah, a ton of contacts, like 15 or something.
Do you have those contacts like as a backup video, like as a making of thing? You should make that a second video. Like that should be its own video. Like next week, drop that.
Yeah, we have like an hour of footage, including the full activation.
Drop that thing! Are you kidding? You're already doing this, right? Please tell me you're already doing this.
I wasn't going to, but
are you kidding me?
No, you have to.
All right,
I'll have to post that.
We'll talk
Mark,
to him and see if he wants to put something out.
Mark, that is pure gold content.
Come on! I'm losing it right now, Mark.
You could legitimately have a full line of just, hey, look at the random thing I turned into a CW key today. I thought it was fake too.
I thought it was too. I thought all this was just a joke. And he's like, oh, no, we did an activation, made 100 contacts on a payphone. I don't know what you guys are doing on your free weekends, but that's what we did. Bro, what are you talking about?
Look, I'm new to YouTube. I don't know what to put out there.
Okay.
No, now you need a T-shirt that has the payphone on it that just straight up says, will it key? Or something of the sort. It'd be hilarious.
Antenna.
I mean, if you give it to Ara, it will absolutely
Mark, you literally have my phone number. You can you can talk to me on situations like these. This is a no-brainer. This is like free content, man. This is amazing. Like the fact, come on, dude, come on. I'm losing it right now.
You can even backpedal it into
hold on.
merch too.
I want to make sure I understand this. I'm gonna get the camera back in here. Here we go. So you're saying that you made? Did you activate the Soda Summit on the payphone?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it also a POTA by chance?
No, Soda only, unfortunately.
But like, how many contacts did you make on a payphone?
Well, we were waiting for good ones, so I don't know, probably like 15. I'd have to go check the logs.
You made 15 contacts?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
On a payphone!
Hey, Ara does good work.
That's honestly that's the better video from my point of view. That's the one I want to see, and I want to see all did you I want to see all that back end stuff, like Ara retooling the radio on the summit, building that all up. I'm sure did you record that? Please tell me you recorded that.
I recorded a good portion of it. There's stuff there.
That is like the whole video, man. That's like. That's like crazy, dude. That's crazy.
We may have to do a follow-up.
What do you mean?
The part that was crazy about this, though, is as we were filming, a guy rode by on a bike, and he's like, "Oh, hey, that looks like an antenna. Here's my call sign. What are you guys doing?" And he pulled out his phone to start taking pictures.
Did you record him?
No, I didn't record that. I was like, "Oh, you can't post this."
So was that last Saturday, Mark?
We actually did this. This was like almost 4 weeks ago now. We started pretty early.
I was looking up Lukens on the on the Soto site.
Oh, but to keep it surprised, I think Aura hasn't posted the log.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was a bit of shenanigans there.
Fair enough, but still, yeah, no. Post the video,
please. This is crazy. This is all altogether crazy. Mark, please, you're sitting on a gold mine. You're sitting on a gold mine, Mark. You're sitting on a gold mine. All right.
Anyway,
like I said, you could literally have a full thing of videos of will it key or something, just of you guys rewiring stuff, just random electronics to make it into a CW key. That's gold.
I think if you give Aura at least 2 whiskeys, something turns into a CW key. It's almost math.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's true.
Hey, I should let you move on to somebody else, but
dude, Mark, oh my gosh, please start working on that second video, man. Please. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Sounds good.
All right,
Thanks,
next
Josh.
is
Two
Mike.
Keys. 2 whiskeys. That's what he said.
Next is Mike. Ham Radio Tube. How's it going, man?
No, I want the better introduction you were going to give me a second ago.
Oh, my good friend and ham radio enthusiast, also in antenna savant, Mike.
You already blew it.
Ham Radio
It
Tube.
had more energy the first time.
Yeah, I know. You tripped me up, man. What can I say? That's it. That's it.
It's exciting, you know,
Yeah,
the whole Saturday night thing.
There's a moment, there's a moment, and then it's gone, and then what can we do? We're just going to try and recover. How are you doing, man?
You put up a new antenna. How am I doing? Who cares? Doing the same. We're all sitting here. We're sitting here listening to the crash course. And I haven't crashed yet.
Yeah, I watched.
You, buddy? What did you? Who cares what you watched? What did you do in ham radio this week?
I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you what I've been doing for multiple days now. Multiple days. You're familiar with this this concept of the tiger tail? The tiger tail?
Yeah, I got them from what's it called? Yeah, the thing with the thing from the signal stuff and with the thing. Yeah. Yeah, BNC adapter, tiger tail, little silicone wire, 19-inch tiger tail. Yeah, picked them up at Amcation. Yeah, I bought 2 of them. What do you got?
I bought the BNC with the little tab on there, and I put the tiger in there, and there you go.
Yeah, I got
All right,
it.
I have gone to the park. I've gone to the park now 4 times to shoot this frickin' video to prove. Is this actually a good thing to add to your radio? This wire that people, 2 feet of wire that they add that's just hanging off their radio and like, oh yeah, I'm doing the best ever. I cannot tell you, my computer's crashed twice. I didn't have the right connector 2 times. I finally got out there and did the whole thing. And it didn't record. I did not get all my audio. The audio is trash. It's gone. I have to reshoot this again. I've shot this thing 5 times now when I go back out there. I'm losing my mind doing this. Okay, so here's the problem, right? Here's the thing. I'm doing a video about something.
Can we unpack that at all? Or
yeah, please. Actually, you know what? Actually, I would like to do that. I would like to unpack something. Okay, so here we go.
Sounds like you got something going on here.
Yeah. So my problem with this and the concept of the tiger tail is that it doesn't do anything. Like it I don't think it really improves your signal quality, because if you're holding this radio in your hand and you're transmitting on it, it's not going to improve upon the
100%
connection of the human being that is in the chain of all of this. Whether you're passively connected to the HT, or even if you just set it down and I'm thinking about even doing this. I'm going to use the Bluetooth adapter to transmit on this radio when it's sitting on the table. I don't think it does anything. I think people just have a placebo effect about the tiger tail. Like that's foreshadowing. I don't know if this is like actually a true thing that's like going to come out of this or not.
Time you've mentioned like that whole placebo effect thing tonight, though. You mentioned it early in the live stream.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I think that the tiger tail has become like a placebo that people are like, oh yeah, no, this
not specifically the tiger tail, but you said a dummy load was a placebo. I think it was.
No, an RF choke. RF choke is a placebo.
Excuse me.
RF choke is a placebo, 100%. 100%.
How?
So that's an
RF choke where?
Hang
on. Let's not get off topic here. We're talking about the tiger tail.
Let's get to. I mean, this is supposed to be about you, but here we go.
Who cares about me?
The tiger tail is just trying to add a counterpoise to an antenna system where you're already connected to it. You're already holding it. You're already more of a ground plane
so let's
on 2 meters than like.
Let's fast forward. So you've got the thing with the touch thing for testing, right?
I got the thing with the touch thing. Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm talking about. You put
I do. That's why I said it. Yeah. Yes.
Crap, no, I just forgot what I was going to ask.
Okay.
So with the Rig Expert Stick Pro, I've put an antenna on with and sans counterpoise, and I've gotten different results.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Do you want me to go further on that, or where are we going?
We could just sit in silence if you want.
Yeah, so, I mean, okay, so a dipole is supposed to be balanced on both ends, right?
Dipole would set up equal and opposite currents in each element.
Right. So if
Shut up,
you...
nerd.
I'm an RF engineer. That's what I do for a living.
Right. So if you took a quarter wave vertical, which is basically, I don't want to say basically a dipole, but if you said I have a quarter wave vertical, then I would expect that I would have a quarter wave on the other end of the antenna, which is the body of the radio and the capacitive touch and all this stuff. Like, that's what you'd expect, right? Steve, go ahead. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You are if the radio is designed correctly and you are holding the radio, you should see little to no effect when you attach the counterpoise, because you are already providing the correct impedance at the antenna.
Right. So my theory, and I haven't, again, scientifically we haven't tested it, but my theory is that the more in balance the antenna is, particularly on the frequency it's at, that when you add the tiger tail to it and it's all of a sudden starts performing really well or better, is going to be a byproduct of it being unbalanced from the beginning, of not knowing what the other side of the antenna is from the body of the radio and you holding it. I think that's...
More correctly, remember, HTs
go ahead.
and portable antennas are designed to work into really odd loads.
Right.
So they can work into very high SWRs. It would be really interesting to see what the foldback is doing internally to the radio. As you
I wish I could see that.
You would never know.
I wish I could see that. I don't have that information. I wish I could get that. That would be amazing.
You could with a current sample. But you'd have to set up some testing to measure both magnitude and phase at the antenna junction. So that's well beyond
what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's well beyond what I'm doing.
To be perfectly honest with you, it's not worth the experiment.
But at the same time, yes. I mean, that's the concern, right? Is that, like, again, it goes back to the concept of all these companies put out these dummy load antennas. Everybody says, it's a dummy load. It's a rubber duck. They're actually not that bad because they're tuned for the radio that they're operating on, generally. Go ahead, Steve. We're going to say something?
So
okay.
What you would need to do is, again, on a range or in a standard environment, is to measure the field intensity at a particular distance from
I mean,
the HT.
that's literally doing a manual plotting of RF, like oh God, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about the device that we use for sensing RF.
We are field strength meter?
Field sensitivity test.
Yeah. So again, you could do this on a range. We would use a VNA when we would set it to S21 and just do it backwards. So you'd be looking at admittance. So you set the generator up through the antenna under test, and you'd look at the other port on the receive. And then if you wanted to switch out antennas, you could do that and then compare what the received power levels were, what the admittance was to the far field of the antenna. And at 2 meters, it's not that far away.
Okay.
That takes the HT out of the equation.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, that's the problem. Well, okay.
No, I get it. What you're doing is a number of variables in play, and unless you're seeing a significant, what you could do is you could some distance away have a receiver with ALC removed, and you could set up transmit no single carrier, no modulation, and look at the power level with and without that. But you'd have to there's some setup on the receive side to make sure that you're actually looking at it make sure you're comparing the received RF power, what the power density is at a particular distance.
But what if you use the same transmitter the whole time, though? It's the same radio.
100%. You could, absolutely. But again, you'd be comparing the different antennas for that HT. And again,
Oh,
remember,
yeah.
that's the big
I
variable.
see. You're trying to create a universal constant.
Yeah, you can't. It's Einstein.
Even
Einstein.
then, if you got it down to the base level, it'd still be a constant at that time.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It's for
all
that
right.
particular radio and that particular antenna. You could switch antennas and see, this one's a dummy load because my field density, far field dropped by half. Okay, that one doesn't perform as well. So you could do a comparison, but I don't know if you could do an absolute value. Like that's a tough one because again, it may vary from transmitter to transmitter to transmitter.
So
Go ahead.
So where Mike was going with this is, so what I've been doing is I literally went into the field with 6 antennas, and I transmitted on 2 meters and 70 centimeters without the tiger tail and then with the tiger tail, and then I got home, and then none of the audio was recorded. So dead video. I have to go record that tomorrow, so I'm going to go do that tomorrow. Really pissed me off.
That was the point of it.
Really pissed me off.
Oh, my God, dude. That's
Go
when
ahead.
we circle back, you losing all that and
gone.
All of the recordings, and because I know, I'm here, and then I'm like, I need to take all my stuff, put it in the car, go to the truck, and go to the field and do stuff and hit record.
Yes.
Nay, yesterday I was filming a video. This fortunately didn't affect the outcome of the video. But I wanted to use my antenna analyzer. And would you believe my antenna analyzer was sitting on my kitchen counter and not in my bag where it belonged in my car?
Nay, pray tell, how did that happen?
That's what happens when you don't put things back where they belong.
100%.
And I scolded myself. Yeah.
Yep.
Satan did it.
No, it was me. I take accountability. Doesn't matter. I filmed a video, and I had a lot. This was just yesterday. I had a lot of fun.
Every tool in its place, Mike.
Exactly. That's what I do with ham radio. To answer your question, Josh, it wasn't today. It was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I filmed my videos, and then I went and I played radio. And it was raining, so I set up that REZ Scout as a vertical. And I made just a lot of contacts.
Yeah, I watched your video. Yeah, I have that same antenna set up.
I haven't even edited it.
No, your res video that you posted.
Oh, that
not
Scout,
too long ago.
yeah. Well, that was whatever 2 days ago. I don't know.
So I was hoping that I was going to do a POTA tomorrow and go out and do the whole thing, but now I've got to go reshoot all this tiger tail stuff, and then hopefully go out and do a POTA. And I'm taking the res antenna out because if I don't do it this week, if I don't do it tomorrow, I have a whole.
Thought about? Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Have you thought about like keeping the? Is there a way to keep the radio in the exact same spot? Like you don't touch the radio, you just change the antenna. You know what I mean?
Not with him holding it. That's part of the test, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like, even if I did that,
X, here's where we're
put your hand on the wooden picnic table.
I'm just thinking variables to eliminate.
Yeah, sure. And people have asked that before, but at the same time, it's like the picnic table moves. Like people move it around.
Well, there's that. Okay.
So sounds like not a significant enough difference to really be bothered buying something like that. If just moving the radio 1 foot to the left is going to give you a different result, then you would think that buying something that's going to hang off my radio would have a significant improvement, not just I moved my radio to the right.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Generally,
the cool thing that you're doing, Josh, is you're keeping this data. So like I enjoy watching all of these antenna vertical tests you're doing, but you're keeping all that data. So like that's cool. So we can be like, okay, what really happened? And the more samples you have, the more, like, you were surprised that MFJ, I think it was.
Oh yeah.
Didn't come out number 1, right? It was the other one. But that's one sample. But over time, we can get more samples and see what's really going on,
Yeah, it's one of those things I'm constantly getting better at, and we'll talk to Adam in a second. But Adam last week was like, "Hey, signal to noise ratio is not the right way to do this," and he was totally right. And so I still have I still have power, absolute power that was received on the transmit. And when you focus on that and sort by that, it's like all of a sudden, the numbers slightly change. And then the best antenna is, maybe not number 1. It's like number 2 or number 3. So it's really interesting when you look at how, again, I'm doing something that like not a lot of ham radio operators do, and it almost goes back to like what Steve was saying when you look at like if you're trying to plot an antenna in the way one would do this in the past, you would have a receiving station that would literally rotate around a 360-degree space and record all those little data points. And then that would factor into like what the propagation was for that antenna, depending on the frequency and the range and all that stuff. Like that's literally what we're doing without all the data points of like 360 and all that stuff. So
you could safely assume that what you're testing is omnidirectional to a degree. So I don't think it would skew anything either way. It's it's ham radio.
I mean, well, that was the other thing is like this is supposed to be every man's like way of testing antennas. It's not supposed to be like overly complicated. But the more we do it, it's like we figured out how to complicate the hell out of it. And it'd be like, that's...
do, you engineers.
Yeah, that's exactly what we've done.
Yeah.
We figured out how to make it complicated.
What's the most efficient way we can do this? All right, here's the engineers. All right, guys, they figured out efficiency. How can we make it so overly complicated?
Yep.
How many different avenues can we go down?
How do we figure out how we get no data out of this?
Spread. Multiply.
Yeah. Well, we're almost at that point. Yeah. Steve and I are working on something where it's like we've already complicated the crap out of all of it. So, that's just the way it goes. Well, Mike, I will see you soon here. We got a couple of weeks before I'll see you in person, and I'm looking forward to that. So, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
On that topic, Josh, not to beat the dead horse, but there's a book called the VNA Applications Handbook, and there's a section on, I think, this exact subject. in that book. So, and that's, if anybody who has a VNA should probably get a copy of that, because it's well written. It's not a lot of math, and does a really good explanation of a lot of the testing and things that you may not have even thought about on how to use your VNA for certain test applications.
Okay, right on. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Let's see. Who's next? Because I got to get out of here shortly. Next is Adam, K6ARK. How you doing, man? Are you there?
I am here. I'm doing all right. Just been super busy with work. I got out rock climbing today, which was a lot of fun with a couple mountain rescue friends. And yeah, not too much going on the radio front. Just working through my taxes, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, Leia's bugging me about that. I guess that's something I got to worry about. So that's a thing coming up, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, beyond that, just prepping stuff for Hamvention. I got a banner made and a table runner with a logo on it, and getting some inventory prepped up, so I'll have stuff for people that come by the booth and want to buy some things there.
Yeah, so I have sad news on the Hamvention front. So I am literally going to end up in Cleveland, Ohio at 4 a.m. on Friday. That's how my day's looking. So I will see you all at Hamvention, but I will not be able to make. I will not be able to make the vendor night or any of the 4 days in May stuff. I'm super bummed out about that. But I don't know what. I don't even know what my day looks like. I'm literally going to go straight from the airport probably to the Hamfest and just start getting set up at this point, because it's like I'm going to show up at like 4 a.m. I'm going to try and get as much sleep as I can and then just go. I'm just going to go crazy.
Hey, Josh, Cleveland's on the other side of the state.
What? Oh,
Cleveland's on the far north side of the state.
Not Cleveland. What's the Cincinnati. I'm going into Cincy. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it just timing for flights, or did you have something that's holding you up?
There's a family thing, and because of the family thing, the best I can get out is after, like, I have a family thing on Friday at 2 p.m. is when I can leave, which means the best flight, the only flight I can take out of LAX at any airport in that area is like 10 p.m. So by the time I get in, it's going to be 4 a.m. And then I'm just going to go straight over to the Hamfest. I'm going to get started. So that's what's going to happen. That's how it's going to go. So it's going to be a little crazy. I'll be a little wild, but we'll get it. We'll figure it out.
I think it'll be
you there.
Yep, I'll be
good
there
time nonetheless. Awesome.
I'll be sleepy.
Let me know
but,
if you need
I'll
a
be
ride
there.
or anything.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that 4 a.m. live stream.
I might start really early. That would be really funny. I'll just start super early and be like, I'm sitting in the parking lot. It's 4 a.m. I don't have my badge yet. I don't have my badge yet, but we're just gonna keep doing this until we're good.
But I bet I could hop that fence and get into the field and start looking at all of the tables that are set up. Just have to lift up this plastic to.
Those guys get started pretty early. I assume if I get there around like 6 or 7, maybe I'll go hang out at the Delta Lounge for a little while. That's probably what I'll do. Is I'll get off the plane and go hang out at the Delta Lounge.
Yeah, I've never been, but aren't they set up on Friday?
Oh yeah, they're fully set up. I mean, yeah. I mean,
I'm not talking about the vendors.
No,
I'm
Friday's
Friday's
the open day, so they're fully set up at that point. So I'm literally just rolling in. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the guys in the flea market.
Oh yeah, they set up the day before. Yeah, they're already set up. I mean, again, the flea market changes a little bit, but they'll be most of them will be up on Friday, and then Saturday is kind of the bigger day on the flea market. So it should be good. Should be good.
Yeah, we get there on a Thursday, and we're all set up Friday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet you there's people that are already out there at 4 a.m. You just they might be asleep, but you probably wake them up.
Yeah, I just need my badge. That's the problem. I won't have my badge.
You just hop the fence, man. Get out at 6 a.m. and before they start handing the badges.
I'm not trying to get banned from a Hamfest. All right, everybody, calm down.
I'm kidding. Yes.
You really got to screw up if you get banned from a Hamfest.
Yeah, you got to screw up hard. I'm not trying to do that.
Famous YouTuber gets banned from world's biggest
Yeah,
Hamfest.
I'm not trying to do that on my day where I'm like, oh, I can't make this work, guys. So I gotta just do my little thing out here.
That would be the hot take on AR Newsline the next week.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, I bet.
You're talking about a ham nation.
So, Josh, one warning when you're navigating back to Cincinnati to fly home. My first time doing that, I ended up navigating to some like regional airport rather than the Cincinnati airport.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, make sure you're going to CVG.
Make sure I set in like Delta Lounge. If I can get to the Delta Lounge, I'll be all right. That's my general game plan.
I think that's the key, is that the Cincinnati airport is in Kentucky. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. All right, well, yeah, okay.
Just on the other side of the river. It's not like that big of a deal.
Just around the river bend. All right. Okay, who's next? Adam, anything else you want to mention?
No, all good. Carry on.
All right. Next, it's Tim Grayman Poda. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, doing good. Been like Adam, just been running around crazy with work stuff this last couple of weeks, and trying to figure out how to raise sales for Noah's Ark. We've had so much rain here that it's flash flood warning. Literally every 15 minutes they issue a new one. So been doing that, staying busy with that kind of stuff.
Well, stay safe out there. Are you like in danger right now, or are you good?
No, we're up high, so we're not. But around town, we've got something like 70 roads in our county that is shut down because of the water.
Oh wow, that's big. All right, well, stay dry, buddy. I appreciate it, and appreciate what you're doing out there.
But I did go POTA today, and Scout Ridge Nature Preserve is open back up today for the first time. So I got to activate it, and they shut it down for the winter. So it got to do that. I think I'll get 99 some contacts in the log today.
Nice, very good. All right, next is Frank, Ham Radio and Wilderness. How you doing, man?
Oh, good evening, Josh and everyone else. I don't have much. Hold on. Got to hit that copy and paste there. I don't have much going on myself. I do have a couple fun announcements, though, that I was made privy to, and I want to share with everybody listening and watching.
Okay. Oh, announcements. Here we go.
Yeah. One of them right in your neck of the woods, and unfortunately, I won't be able to make it. The Big Bear Ham Escape is coming to the ARRL Orange section in Big Bear, California, April 25th through the 27th. And the reason why I bring it up is 4 of the well-known and bigger SoCal POTA experts, if you will, are going to be doing a POTA workshop on that Saturday. Jenna, WW0MAN, Neil, N6VHF, John, NS6V, and Savi, W1SAV. They're all going to be there and having fun. I'm going to drop a link for that in the chat in just a second here. And that sounds like a fun adventure. And then the other thing I was made privy to, for those that care or want to talk to them, TalkPod is going to be at Dayton Hamvention this year.
Oh, boy. Okay. Great.
Yeah. They said, come on by and talk to their, it was supposed to
talk
be
to the
creators.
TalkPod. Talk to the TalkPod. Yeah, come on down, kids. Let's talk to the TalkPod.
You got to schedule a meeting with them, but apparently they're going to be there with a booth and everything. And yeah, so they're going to have a nice little spot there this year, apparently.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll talk with them. I will be at the Big Bear. Well, I'm planning on being at the Big Bear Hamfest. I didn't go last year, and in fact, we moved our camp out for that Hamfest because I do want to support a local Hamfest. It's one of the more recent Hamfest in recent date to be worth mentioning. So there you go. I will be out there. I'm planning to be there.
And Jody's right on top of it. Breaking news: Talk Pod at Hamvention, the Lion's Den.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fact that I think it was kind of funny. They're like, oh, you have to schedule an appointment with them. It's like, what does that mean? You have to schedule an appointment with them. Like, we're all just standing at a table at a booth.
Right.
Like, are they not willing to talk to people? If we're not, they're the Talk Pod. They don't want to talk to people. What's going on there?
Well, the way I read the email is they have a special seminar they're doing, the Creator Summit that they're doing at Dayton Hamvention, and that's what you get to sign up for.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
Creator convention that they have. So, but yeah, they're going to be there at Dayton Hamvention this year. What I love is they have a whole bunch in the email. They have Mike the Traveling Ham, Lord Mike, Ham Radio Tube, Hayden, Freddie Mac, and a few others in images, but there's no image of me there.
Well, there's no image of me either because I've been outspoken that, like, why?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me, Ape, you, yeah, we're. I mean,
I don't know if you want to be on that website. No offense to Mike or anything, but I don't know that you want to be on that website. That's like
I don't think
Cabal's
Mike had
crew.
a choice.
I don't know.
What did I do? I'm sorry, I was.
I don't know
playing
that I
Ham
would
Radio.
want
What
to
did I
be
do?
on that website.
Talk Pod.
Mike, I'll send you a screenshot of the Talk Pod email I got that you have an image in.
Boy.
Yeah, they're using your name in vain, Mike.
Well, it's about damn time somebody does it.
Well, his likeness.
My
Yeah.
biggest thing with some of these companies is that they just run too fast and loose. And I think TalkPod is the epitome of that. Like, TalkPod went straight to creators and they're like, hey, we'll give you a free radio. Here you go. And they did that. And I don't know who said it's a okay radio, but I know there was some. I'm not going to go back and pull receipts on any of that because I don't really care. I know I didn't. I called them out on being.
I was sent a good one.
I have never been sent a good TalkPod in the entirety, and I'm not even like. I bought Amazon TalkPods. I bought them to test, and I tested them, and they were bad. And I also tested the radios that were sent to me by TalkPod, and they were also bad. So you got to do a lot at this point. I don't know what it is. I haven't figured it out. And don't put me on your website because I don't know what to do to like fix all this.
So
be more. You know what? Honestly, be more like VGC. There you go. There you go. And I'm not, and again, I'm not trying to say like, oh, this company's better and they can't turn on you and become bad or anything like that. I'm not saying that because honestly, we've seen good Chinese companies turn bad. We've seen bad Chinese companies turn good. It has nothing to do with China. It's just a matter of like, hey, do they understand the world we live in and the FCC requirements and all that stuff? And I'm willing to work with you, all of that. But like at the end of the day, the radio's just got to be a good radio. Like that's it. Like that's all it has to be. And that's all I care about.
I will say this: the 5-watt model, absolute trash. The 8-watt model, they got a little tiny bit better, but they have a ways to go.
Did you test it? Did you test it?
On a live stream with Ape on my channel, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I mean, okay.
Tested all the way, yeah.
Okay.
With tiny SA Ultra, the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
And Mark posted a moment or so ago. He's gonna be there doing a talk for soda at Big Bear Ham Escape. So you'll have both soda and Poda there.
Oh.
So lots and lots of fun happening. And starting in May, it looks like I'll be back to my normal editing and live streaming. Finally.
Good.
So you'll see more content coming from me, hopefully starting May.
Excellent. All right. Next is
I sent you one last message. I'm not sure what the status is there, but I just thought I'd give you the heads up.
Interesting. I see that. Okay. Next is Dawn, N5SKT. How you doing?
Doing well. Did you see, by the way, just a few minutes ago, I worked grease on 80-meter FT8?
So Dawn, you as a creator, like if I was in the same situation as you, I would just be like live all the time.
Well,
I would just be live, like, hey, look at my low noise floor. Like, check me out. Like, I would just be on the air all the time. I'd making videos all the time. Like, nothing would stop me at this point.
Well, the thing is that, like, first of all, this week, it has, just like Tim was saying, it has rained all week. In fact, I got the truck stuck in the mud just a little earlier this afternoon. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, man, and I know you've got one of these trucks.
The Lightning?
Every time I get in that truck and have something like this,
the Lightning.
There's some. No, I've got the F-150.
Oh, mine is much heavier than yours. Mine is way heavier.
But I bet you have. Don't you have the Pro Trailer and all of those? Yeah. Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And there's a function in that damn truck that'll get you unstuck. All I had to do is set it, and the truck got me out of the mud. And
okay,
I
love
tried
that.
Walking back and forth. I tried putting stuff under there, and then I was like, "Wait a minute!" And I, turned the knob, and there's this thing that says slippery, and I set it on slippery, and it got me out of this damn mud. So, and
I love that.
And I don't know if you've towed a trailer with it, but oh my God,
I have not yet. Because I never. I just throw everything in the back in the bed, and I don't have to pull anything. I mean, that's kind of why I bought it, because I knew that I didn't have to tow anything with it. I don't want an electric truck for a towing. That's just not.
Well, I've got a V8.
Yeah, for sure.
And I've got a 16-foot trailer, and I've got I had a mower that had, or a zero turn that had to go get repaired, and so and they will not come and pick it up for you. So I had to. I got it there and back. But I mean, when you're backing the trailer up, it backs the trailer up for you. It hitches the trailer up for you. I mean, it literally will. And sorry, this is not ham radio. I should go back to ham radio.
He's just really excited.
I'm just really impressed with that.
He's really excited.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been raining here all week, and I have been training a intern, which is kind of we've talked about, like, Elmering people, and training a guy that's still in college when they're starting out in programming and all of that is kind of like that. I just really never had given it much thought. But
honestly,
I'm Elmering somebody.
You could light speed their career if you think about it.
Yeah.
I did not have enough good mentors being a young engineer, and I would have loved that. I would have loved to have that. So if you have that opportunity, if you're willing and you can fit that in your schedule and stuff, please do.
I've actually had it many times over my career. And every time, the thing that I like about this is every time you get to see those guys grow and get to see them. There are some that I've mentored that are VPs and CTOs. So, it's always an amazing experience. And whether I even got to do one time a guy that was still in high school. So, there's nothing quite like that.
I will say that I agree with Sean's comment a little bit that everyone talks about mentorship, but there's no mentors out there. Like, that is a real, in my career space as an engineer in aerospace, like, government aerospace type stuff, you have to pursue it as the mentee. You have to pursue the mentor that fits like what you're doing. And all the I don't want to sidetrack this, but like there's tons of programs. Like there's, oh yeah, join the mentor program, all that stuff. It's gonna be really good for you. It's not. It's not going to be really good for you.
I agree with you 100%.
You got to pursue.
Changed so much in the past 30 years.
You got to pursue exactly the person that you want to get the information out of, and you got to chase it like a bird dog. You got to go after it intensely, and you got to do it the right way. You got to be willing and humble to accept the information. That's the only way it works. That's the only way. I've never seen anyone share anything other than that.
When I started at General Dynamics, that it was not like that. There were people that were always there willing to help you, and in fact, to some degree, were asked to mentor you. In fact, we were assigned a guy. Like, there was a guy that had been there 30, 40 years, a software engineer that was there that had been there 30, 40 years, and everybody that came in, he would work with them, and basically you'd be assigned to him to mentor you on all of the things, because there were, the learning curve on all of that, and there weren't, like, you couldn't go on the internet, right? There was no internet,
right?
So without mentors we were dead. But then when you go look at companies today, and you're exactly right on it, the way that things are done.
Don, I think part of it is that the access to the information has shifted, right? There was no internet. There was no resources.
Right.
It is there now, and it really is up to the individual. If they want to succeed, if they want to move forward, if they want to do it, they will get off their ass and go do it.
Yep.
Otherwise, they're not. And it's the same thing. I'll teach anybody what I do, anybody, but they have to be willing to learn, and they want it. If they don't want it, they aren't willing to learn. I'm not going to waste my time on them.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know.
I kind of want it, but
I'll tell you.
I kind of want you to go get me a coffee, please.
I've seen. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Mike had a big thought. He's going to drop a big thought right now.
No, I was busting Tim's balls.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. All I was going to say is that, again, when I started there, maybe it was the generation that I started out in, but everybody was like, "Oh, it's so exciting! Look, I'm at General Dynamics, or I'm at, I'm at J.C. Penney even. This is exciting. This is new. Teach me what you know. Show me how do I run the cash register? How do I fill out or process a credit application?" Which is what I was doing. All of those things were new and exciting, and and we were always, that was, it was just instilled in us that there was, you got to go out and make it in the world, and whatever it takes, boy. If you're not going to go out there and do that, you're going to fail, and failure's bad. And I don't know, maybe that's just not around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, again, not on ham radio, but anyway, just to let you know, busy week at work, and then the rain just kept me from really getting out there and doing a whole lot.
Boy, I take real issue with that last comment.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I am a boomer. I am actually older, and let me tell you something. The culture that instilled, knowledge, KT and technical interchange, TI, that whole culture has kind of shifted, unfortunately. And I think part of that's gone through attrition, because there are fewer people, Dawn's generation, my generation, I think, available in some of that. I think some of that's been lost. And, information is so readily available on the internet these days that it's a very different culture when you need to go study something. We didn't have online study or self-study like we do here. I mean, if you wanted something, like to your point, you had to go pursue it. You needed to go find it, and it's even doubly so now. I mean, I don't actually look. You know, when we hire, if I'm looking for somebody, I want to know that somebody can learn. I want to know that they know how to learn. Not necessarily that they're mastering. I mean, they have to have a certain level of proficiency in the subject matter at hand. But you know, we're going to teach them what we do. But I want to know that you know how to learn, and that's the important part, and that you also know how to share that information with others. We have to be honest with you, that whole part of the culture just seems to have, over the past 25 years or so, it's just kind of seemed to been on the decline. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know why. It's a generational thing, maybe, but
do you want to know? I hate to cut a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
A little bit. But to Sean's point, I learned the most from boomers because I could relate to them. And I think that the biggest problem is that younger generations and older generations don't relate very well. I have more friends that are older just because I can relate to them in the way that they're interested in things and the things they care about on a personal level than the technical experience that I get from them. Go ahead.
Yeah, from my perspective and my generation, I take incredible pride. In fact, my team, I take incredible pride watching those guys work through the problem, generate the solution, and present the, whatever it is that we're doing. And that reflects on me as a manager, as a director. That reflects directly to me. I find there is absolutely no truth in training their competition. They're not my competition. I'm looking to generate a team that can work well together and produce. And that's that. I take incredible exception at that. And I see that kind of, I don't want to say that attitude, but I see that attitude as well in the hobby. And it's kind of frustrating. And there's nothing more gratifying and satisfying than watching being an Elmer and watching your pupil, if you will, go through the ranks of novice, etc., all the way up to extra at some point. I take incredible pride in that.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and I get it. I understand what you're saying, particularly at the corporate level. There's a certain level of buy-in that you have to have for someone that's going to ride with you when you're going through that, and be willing to be receptive to it. But it still goes back to what I said, is that there's a number of people who just turn cranks on CNC machines and who do networking things and do a number of stuff that if you could just relate to them, that are boomers, that gives you more leeway than almost anything that you can do. The problem is that these people, we're talking about human beings, real human beings, they're just not communicating. They just don't communicate. Like they're all saying similar things, but they're never actually connecting as human beings. And I'm gonna throw this out there to the younger people. You kind of got to look down a little bit. Not look down. That's the wrong term. It's not down. But look to the people the senior engineers, and be like, I want to know what they know. So you're going to have to meet them mostly towards their direction. You're going to have to be more towards their side of the aisle than them being on your side of the aisle. And as someone who's been in aerospace for a really long time and worked for a lot of major contractors, there's been many spearheaded issues to be like, oh no, we're going to meet you halfway. There is no halfway. There isn't. Because you're talking about a dearth, a uncanny valley of knowledge that the younger engineer doesn't have, that the senior engineer has. And if the younger engineer won't expel a ton of energy to get towards what the senior engineer knows, then the relationship just cannot be built, and the true knowledge transfer will never happen. Like that's the big point I'm trying to say. I don't know, Steve. I'm not trying to take anything away from you here, but
I can't disagree with you.
Yeah.
What I've been real lucky because I literally have worked with the same set of guys through 4 different companies, an entire team.
See, that's more valuable than anything, that you have a close-knit group of people, whether they're young, old. That's actually more beneficial than anything. It's just a group that stays together.
Yeah, and we can bring new people into that team and bring them up to speed. 'Cause, again, I think it goes back to the fact that, again, we've been working with each other for many years, and we've made major, breakthroughs and et cetera as we've gone along. And then we want to be able to bring people in and share in that. And we know that, like certain disciplines, like for instance, Steve, we hired an antenna guy. So there are people that we're bringing into our team to work with us. And
there goes the neighborhood.
Man, no, I mean, he oh God, the software that he uses, I only wish we could get a hold of that stuff. But anyway, and we've been working together, and we're a tight knit group of guys, and it's just and now, of course, after running through 3 different companies, we have a reputation, right? So when this particular opportunity came up, they looked at our team. They wanted the whole freaking team, and they brought us over as a team to come in and work in this new thing. So this has been just I think, an amazing ride for the past 20 plus years.
All right. Well, Don, thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure. Sorry about that.
No, it's good. It's good. That was a good little diatribe. The next is Chris, Radio and Life. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, guys. How are you all doing today?
Good. What's going on with you, man?
Well, I posted up that video of me installing the FT400 into my car early this week. I haven't really looked at the analytics or anything like that, but I was pretty happy with it. A lot of truth behind that, so to speak. And picked up a new radio computer, I'll call it. Picked up a Surface Pro, and tonight I finally figured out how to get FT8 up on it. I'll be doing a video on the complexities of that.
All right. There you go. Well, appreciate you hanging out, and keep doing what you're doing. All right, next is Chris, W9TEK. How you doing, man? Oh, we might have lost Chris.
He's still he's still in the voice chat, but he's muted, so.
Oh, all right. All right, we'll go next to, is Bill there?
Hey, what's up, guys?
AM Radio Tectonics is in the house. How you doing, man?
All right, man. It was in and out early, and I came back, and old eagle-eyed Frank saw me. Thanks for getting me on the list there, and thanks for the shout, Josh.
Yeah, buddy.
How's it going, man?
It's good. It's good. I got to wrap up here and try and catch it. Well, I got to eat some food, but I'm going to catch up with the wife, and maybe we'll podcast. I don't know. There's so many options available to us.
Yeah,
how you doing, man?
Just listening to your last podcast on my way to work today, so I'm ready for that next one. I'll be through with this one, and you get on it. You and Leia.
Yeah,
get on it.
I gotta say, like, I took a series of jobs that only pulled me more into work. Like, that's what I ended up doing, is I just got more work out of electing to do more work. And now I have more work. And I can't, like, normally we would record the podcast on a Thursday, which was beautiful for everybody. We could record the podcast. I still got some work done on Fridays. It was all good. But now, like, I have to go to the office like every day. And then Leia, you know, Chinese school's on Saturday, and she's like, I don't really want to record on Friday. And so now I have to wrap up the live stream and go do the podcast, which is like, that's not good because I've been drinking this whole time. So it's getting tough, guys. The podcast is it's getting a little tough, I gotta say.
We appreciate you, and I want to get my vote in. Bring the CW moment or whatever back.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen right now. That's not gonna happen right now.
Make it happen soon. Buy her
CW. I'm thinking about
bag or something.
I'm thinking about turning that. I'm thinking about turning that into the off Wednesday, off of Ham Nation. So I'm thinking about we do like all this, like this this background stuff. It's like a plush lounge, like a proper pub.
Nice.
And then it's not Ham Nation. It's just CW, and it's on a
Nice.
Wednesday, and we just hang out, we drink whiskey, and do CW. I don't know how to do that yet. But that's what I'm thinking about doing.
Sometimes the whiskey makes the CW a little more difficult. But
to a point, as an Irish person, I think that you just get better at CW to a certain point of whiskey, and then it starts to decrepitude really quickly.
That may be the case, like anything, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys gave me the shout out. I'm not gonna hang out long. I'm just doing a few things, wrapping up something, like finishing up that antenna switch kit. And there's no way. So I found a video. There is no way. Just might as well. There's no way I could outdo that video. So I'm going to show the kit and direct everybody to the video of another YouTuber. I don't have his call sign or name, but it will be on the video. But shot a couple segments for that today, and I'll get that out today or tomorrow or the next day. And that's about it for me. Appreciate you guys. Great hanging out with you.
Right on, Bill. Appreciate you,
Josh.
Yeah.
You gotta fire me. You gotta fire me.
Okay.
I forgot to put Lars in the list.
Oh, Lars, you there? Corpse Lot?
I'm here. I was wondering do I owe Frank money? Because
you do. You owe Frank. You owe him tribute. Where's the tribute at?
Where the tithes?
You know, Lars. What it was is when I made the list up, you weren't in the voice chat yet. And usually I'm good about paying it. I don't know why I spaced. I am so sorry.
It's not his fault.
It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. Is it my turn?
Yes, please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't want to cut in line.
We gotta find. So scream it out. Like what? If you can, drop the URL in the chat. Can you do that?
I'm on my phone. It's not very easy for me to do that right now.
Just go ahead and what's your YouTube? I'll pull it up.
It's Ham Radio Journey on YouTube.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, not the Ham Radio Journey. That's some other guy. He sucks. Actually, I don't know who he is. He's probably great. But no. I'm working on a video right now. I just bought about 5 Meshtastic node worth of supplies. So I'm working on about I want to say about 10 total right now that I'm putting together. So I'm gonna make a video. I'm working on a video to go along with those pretty soon, talking about how I've built them, what's in them, the process, and if anybody wants one. So basically, that's what I'm working on right now.
Excellent. No, there it is. We found it. Oh boy, hold on, catch it.
Yeah, little solar Meshtastic node, and I sent Josh the prototype version of it. He got the
I do.
guinea pig.
I got it on the roof, and we are we got it up and running. I will say my my receive is way better. Way better.
Oh, I'd hope so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do too. So I will. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say the hardest part about that build is right now I have to kind of like I'm working on a more permanent solution, but right now I have to like take them to work with me and put them on the Bridgeport to like rework the boxes to put all the appropriate holes in place so that I can mount things. It's not a not a good way to do it because I don't always have access to the Bridgeport, and I don't have my own garage to have my own machine, so I have to find another solution pretty soon. But for now, it's I can after hours I can go in there and just make up a bunch of boxes just to get them ready. But yeah, so anyway, that's the next video I'm working on, is just showing the completed model and whatnot.
Right on, right on. I appreciate that. All right, well, Lars, thank you. I appreciate that, and keep chugging, man. That's awesome. Well, so W6TRW is contacting me on FT8 right now. Who's doing that? Is it Mark? Mark, you doing that? Mark.
All right, fine. I'm going to claim ignorance, but maybe.
Yeah, okay. Because right now, we just made a contact. All right, so you got a local contact over Redondo Beach, California, from Cerritos, California. So there you go. We got in there. That's awesome. Oh, the Falcon and the Snowman are on FT8. Oh, I don't know, maybe a little bit.
So you do know what that movie is?
A little bit. I guess I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So with that said, anybody else have any last questions or comments? Because I got to head out of here and try and catch up with the wife and also eat some food. So anybody, here's your last chance, because I'm going to wrap things up here pretty quick.
Have you worked Micronesia yet?
No, I don't think so. I don't see them. Are they showing up right now?
Okay. I don't know about right now. I'm not. All I have is your radio on live stream. I'm not. But I've seen them a couple times, and maybe one contact on 20 meters.
I don't think I have Micronesia. Well, I'm sure I have a Micronesia, but like right now, is it a de-expedition or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
On 40, or where are they at?
I don't know. I don't know where they're spotted right now. I just know that they've been on recently.
Okay. No, I don't have. I don't think I do. But
yeah, and if I ask the questions that I want to ask, you could neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't ask any questions. Keep them ham radio related, please.
Okay, so I just looked it up in my log. V6 Whiskey Golf was 15 meters on March 31st.
No, I don't have.
They're out there.
Okay. Well, I mean, I could point the beam that way and go tread. I might do that. That might be fun. I might do that in the morning. I have so many things that I could do tomorrow. I honestly, I really need to reshoot the Tiger Tail, but I also have a multitude of other videos that I plan to shoot tomorrow. So this is gonna be. It's a tough call to make. So
drunk rooftop stream.
No, I will put the standoffs out. I don't know that I can do the standoffs tomorrow because of all the other things going on, but I'm already way more confident because of the standoffs. I think that's going to be the way to go. That's my opinion. I think it's going to be
Josh, real quick, could you show me when next time you get up there how you have those U-bolts attached to the back of that thing, like what you're using to space them away from the mast? Because I was just curious about that.
Yeah, no, I will. I'll text you tomorrow. I might give you a call because there's other things I got to talk about. So anyway, assuming I get time to do that, I'll figure out how to make that all work. It might be Monday.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. Well, I'll bug you. When that happens. So.
Gosh, I got a question.
All right, Michael. I think you might be the last one. Go for it, bud.
On these ham radio tests on technicians, what is the exact score supposed to be on the 35 questions?
You have a 74% accuracy. So you got to be 74% correct on the question pool. So out of 35 questions, you got to be 74% right.
Okay, well, I took one today, and they told me I missed one question out of all of it.
Yeah, so you're pretty close. Pretty close.
So would that mean I passed or didn't pass?
Well, what are you using to test? Are you on hamstudy.org?
No, I took a written test at a Hamvention today in Delville, Alabama. And they told me after I got done with my test, they graded it, and they told me I missed 1 out of all of them.
Oh, then yeah, you passed. Congratulations, buddy! You're a ham.
Josh, hold on.
Hold on just a minute. Just hang on. I'll let this gentleman right here explain it to you a little bit more.
So Michael and I have been going back and forth in messages. Apparently, okay, so he only missed 1 question, which means undoubtedly he passed. But the VEs told him he did not pass. And he's waiting for a text response from one of the VEs to see what exactly is going on. But we just wanted to clarify, what the actual pass rate was. And Jody has a good point. Michael, did they say you missed by 1 question, or you got it all except 1 question?
And he's gone.
Because if you got a 34 out of 35, you definitely passed. If you got a 28 out of 35, you did not pass.
Yeah,
That's what I don't understand. And they did not tell me anything, my exact score or nothing.
I'm not. Hold on. I'm not going down in the rabbit hole on, like, they're not here, so we can't hear what they have to say. You got to contact them. Okay, you know who they are because they're the one that administered your test. You have their call signs on your paper, right? Contact them. Figure out what's going on. I
sent them a text and they ain't received nothing back yet, but I'm waiting till tomorrow. Maybe they will text me and let me know something.
So there's 2 things that could have happened. You missed 1 question out of 35 questions, which means you passed. But if they said you didn't pass, then it's like you missed passing by 1 question, which means that you're pretty close. So don't get discouraged. That's not a big deal. You get that the next time. There's no problem.
I'm just kind of confused of what the score actually was.
Yeah, but see, I can't solve that for you. I don't know, right? I don't know.
So, Josh, your microphone's crackling now. It took over 3 hours for it to happen.
All right. Well, that's it. It's time to go. I'm heading out. I gotta go, guys. So that's it. The mic's cracking. I gotta go.
73, Josh.
73 to everybody on the Discord. Take it easy. See ya.
Bye.
I don't know what's happening. The mic's cracking. I gotta go. 73. So you enjoy the hot opening. Take it easy. See ya. Crackly Mike says, good night, everybody. Please enjoy your ham radio tomorrow. 73.